And hello, and welcome everybody to our latest instalment of the War of Inheritance. This is going to be an interesting session, and we'll see how we go. Who would like to recap for us?
Well, as is tradition, I finished my homework on the bus. So, episode 8, time for some,
which was last episode.
Time for some Freya heroics is the working title.
Episode 9.
It's always Elven village is all dead. Yeah,
that's
the Elven village. Everybody's dead. Dave. They're all dead. Even Kachansky, in fact. They're all dead. And seemingly corrupted by the well source, and killed by blights, or became blights, or are now currently
possessed by blights.
occupied by blights.
It was bad.
Homes for blights. We camped for the night, buried some bodies, as is the thing. Made a charisma save. Not to do one of those before.
Get used to it.
Freya buckles some swash is what I've got written down here.
No, incorrect.
That was the session previous.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I mean, Freya's going to be buckling swash.
It wasn't Freya who buckled swash.
It was
Captain Lucille!
Never going to get old. We found another. Wow, I can't spell obelisk. We found another obelisk, which Iris desperately ran up to and attempted to lick while telling us her dramatic backstory, which everybody definitely paid attention to. Then Iris brutally murders everybody, and we restab.
That's pretty much it. So, having just departed the hill with the obelisk on it, it is raining, and you are making your way down into, down this hill, but the woods stretch up. You are in the foothills, making your way up to the beginnings of the mountains, where there is a water source that you are headed towards. You are about... You're not sure. You're working on a map, and I'll take a nature check from you.
She's proven to be
nature check.
Accurate, though. Something.
No, I'm not.
Flashback. I wanted to try and find the name of the elf that died. Is there anything on them that they had?
She's currently wrapped up in a cloak.
Yep, you've got all her everything she had on her, with the exception of her gargoyle, which is fine.
So we're not leaving her anything blank.
I got on my nature check 20.
A 20 on your nature check.
I did.
And it's survival, but I'll take 20 is going to be good enough. You estimate that you probably are within a day of the water source.
Okay.
And what time of day was it?
I think it was coming up to late afternoon kind of thing.
It was sort of mid-afternoon. Yeah, it wasn't. It's not evening yet, but you're going to have to find a place.
We need to find a place to stop because
you're not going to make it there tonight. That is for sure.
We don't want to make it there tonight, Josh, quite frankly.
Yeah, you do.
I'm on 4 hit points.
That's a good number of hit points.
Yeah, no, it's like 4 more than 0.
So you make your way into the woods, and you notice that the terrain is pretty marshy. As you'd expect, there's a great big river going through, but it is expanding to become squelchy underfoot. And as you go, you're finding progress not really difficult, but you're hampered in all of your armour. And there's a lot of the familiar squelching of heavily armoured troops through fairly dense mud.
Neve, can we find anywhere where the ground's better to spend the night? Because sleeping on this is going to be shit.
Yes. Yes, we can.
Actually, what am I talking about? You're a water wizard, it's fine.
Well, there's that too.
Yeah, there's that too. But yeah, if we can find somewhere where the ground is better than this, that would be ideal. If only because burying people in a marsh is never pleasant.
It's not ideal.
Not ideal. It's not what they call good.
So, what is your plan? You're making your way through the forest. Pack somebody roll me a d12.
Oh, it's my fault.
It's Neve's fault so far.
5.
5, you are okay. You head through the woods uneventfully. There's slightly more wildlife here than you'd expect there to be.
Okay.
Slightly more diverse range of things that are alive and living in these woods.
Okay.
In the immediate foothills.
All right.
And is your plan to press on and make camp somewhere?
Yes.
Ideally, yeah, a place where the ground is more solid. If
All right.
Yeah, we
we can
can
go further up away from the river if we need to, but
Sure.
forest cover is better.
But okay, well, there's a wooded hill not too far away. It's going to take maybe an hour and a half to get there, and that would be a reasonable place for you to bed down for the evening.
Great.
And so you guys make your way there.
Mhm.
And yeah, these trees are becoming more like mangroves in the nature of in and out of the swamp, and the ground. It becomes less sludgy the more up the hill you go, and the trees become firmer. The ground becomes more solid, and the rain peters out to not very much. And it is early evening when you settle down and make camp.
Okay.
You have a body you are carrying.
What state is Iris in?
Very quiet. Yeah, hood pulled up tight. Shoulders
Iris.
slightly hunched.
I'll have had an arm around your shoulder getting you up the hill.
Iris. I'm going to go and bury this young woman now. Do you want any part of that, or do you want me to just go and deal with it?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Okay.
So Jorg and Iris, you head a little way away from the
You're
camp.
Iris and Neve, if that's
I'm
okay?
definitely coming, which means that
Freya and Tyndall.
Tyndall and Freya.
We can attempt to put some tents up. I don't think it's going to work.
That is mighty. Okay, so can I have a survival check from you both, please, as you attempt to erect some sort of
10.
10?
I don't know what Tyndall has.
Correct.
I was waiting for the natural one. We just walk slowly into the woods. They're just behind
Like
us.
fire.
There's just this explosion behind us.
Rolling
And everybody's
rolling
like,
it again. Tyndall is assisting you, so you do it.
Oh, 10.
You and Tyndall are just as good as each other.
Blind
entirely mediocre and
leading
average.
the blind.
Fab.
Oh, where does this stick go?
Yeah, so as you leave, you hear Lord Tyndall saying, yes, no, this can't be that difficult. I've seen tents before.
I've seen tens of books before, yes.
In fact, I assisted with erecting one only yesterday. It was this one? Perhaps it was this one. Oh no, this is a saddle. Yeah, so you're going through the bags and going, what are we, as these three wander off. You find a little clearing in the woods, and you put down your heavy burden that you've been carrying, and it is the body of a very pale, like I said, milky white half-elf with a shock of purple hair.
Sorry, I thought that was half.
With a shock of purple hair. And
Does she have any other markings, like the one that is now empty?
I was about to ask you that because it was definitely something that I wanted you to do, not me.
So, sure, Neve, you go over and how do you feel about dealing with a corpse?
That's fine. It's part of the. I'm assuming with my sort of general druidy sense that I'm not getting any kind of woob from this, like in the same way as I
Sorry.
would from the blind.
Amy,
That's a technical term.
Can we come back to that? What is? Can we explain to chat, Amy? What is woo?
So you know when like it's a horror movie or a sci-fi movie or something, and like you're getting towards something, and the background music is going.
Are you saying your druidic sense is in fact just the ability to
It's the
wall break and
non-diegetic
hear the
music,
music?
yeah.
Okay, cool. So
Yeah,
your
exactly.
spider sense is not tingling.
Great. So yes, at that point, provided that there's no woob, I am like.
I didn't read that class ability.
Corpses are like they're part of the great circle of life, so
Sure.
it's fine.
That's fine.
I do.
So you go and you respectfully have a search through the elf, and she's got a pretty sheer undercloth and the rest of her clothing and armour on top. So when you take all of that off, she still has her modesty, but you can see that she does have some more tattooed patterns on her.
Okay.
They are runic symbols in exactly the same way as Iris has a few on her now.
What's the story with the tattoos?
Well, these are the same symbols as we've seen on the dolmen stones, and I would imagine, Iris, these are linked to abilities?
Do you have these as well?
I got the first one touching the stone at the,
Oh shit! Yeah, you've got the one that she has on your collarbone there. That's
and
weird.
now I've got another one.
Yes.
Right.
It's almost like she knew that this would happen. That she
Yeah,
was trying to take.
that was not a normal response,
Mm.
and was also completely not your fault, no matter how you're desperately trying to blame yourself.
But it would make sense why she attacked us so seemingly out of nowhere.
Sorry, that made sense to you?
Well, it makes sense now.
If there's a power,
If
if
you
there's a link
imagine.
of power, people get greedy around this shit.
Well, and also, like, we've seen that these things not only can be taken from others, but they can be taken from you. So the moment that she realised that you had this ability as well, that was when she went into panic mode.
Because she assumed that you were going to react the same way that she did.
Yeah.
Clearly you're an oddity, because you don't want to kill everybody that you come across with this shit.
Mm.
Please don't change.
So yeah, you see that this elf, or half elf, is got some tattoo still on her, and Jorg goes through the pack that she had. She has a little belt pack with some stuff in it, and a bag, and some travelling clothes. None of which are particularly fancy. It's all
I'm just going to hand the book to Neve, because it definitely seems like more of a her thing than me.
sure. There is a book that you see, and what it's got on it is
Sorcerers for Dummies. Sorry. I'm so
you're not sure. Neve, there is a book, and it's got this. This is a really old thing. It's an old, really well-made book, and you can look and see the bindings are just from looking at it. You go, wow, this is an old text. It's been handwritten, but you're pretty sure it's been handwritten because it hasn't been. There's no machine that would have printed this in the way back when. It has a golden clasp on the front and a little embossed metal plate on the front of the nice leather hard bindings. And the title of the book is written in the same kind of runes that are covering Iris and
The Dolmen Stones.
and the Dolmen Stones and her.
Ah.
The golden clasp on the book has a little circular hole in it.
Okay.
I'm not describing this very well. There's a golden clasp. It's like a flat sheet that goes around the thing and binds it to, and it looks like a slight circular depression. It's still there, but the metal's a little bit thinner in a circle in the middle of the clasp,
Gotcha.
where you might imagine like a key would go or something, but there's no keyhole. There's
Doesn't have
not
a pendant or anything like that she's wearing, or anything like that would be my immediate response to something along those lines.
Is the
elf wearing
the elf.
a pendant or something like that?
Now that you look more closely, she is wearing a ring.
A ring. It's probably that if you want to open that, although... Okay,
Well,
there's also a bag of... Okay, well those seem to be like some sort of casting runes, so enjoy those. Some bone runes or something.
That's right. So it looks like there's some knuckle bones of something with runes carved into them.
Either of you want this short sword? It's decent steel, I'll keep it. And also, Neve, can you just be quartermistress on this one? And I'm going to fling you a purse, the remains of a purse as well. In fact, you may as well just take that.
This is the items that she has on her.
Great.
Back at camp, Freya.
Freya
sorry,
has successfully sat down and is watching Lord Tyndall attempt to.
You roll initiative to
What
fight the tent.
So what is your what is the assistance, the level of assistance that you are rendering this
I'm
guy?
encouraging him to hurry up. Because I don't like swamps. I've been in a swamp all day.
Yes, beloved. I am doing my level best, and he is doing his level best. He has just about got half of one tent put up, and it really is a two-person job. And he's kind of holding these two poles in the middle, and he says, "If you wouldn't mind,
All right.
fine. I'll put in the minimum effort."
Yes.
Okay, so between you, you managed to erect these tents. You guys have, from the supplies that you've got, you probably have 4 tents which you're able to pitch. They're not very big, and you'll need to either carry the poles with you or find wood to put them up, but that's fine. You've got enough canvas and stuff to put up 4 tents, which means that some people is going to have to share, because Lord Tyndall is here as well. And that is not the end of the world. I think Lord Tyndall expects he's going to share with York.
I was expecting you would.
Is his assumption.
I was hoping you would.
Okay, so you, as this is going, Lord Tyndall looks away into the distance where these 3 are, where the others are burying the elf, and he says, I'm glad we can have a moment to talk. This must be very, very difficult for you.
What?
Well, this, like you said, you've been marching through a swamp for 2 days. And do forgive me for saying, but marching through swamps is not typical behaviour for noble-born ladies.
Well, I was never a typical noble-born lady.
Nor was I.
Yes, I know you're not a lady.
Yes. And I was wondering, it feels like we should perhaps have a conversation about exactly where we stand. At some point I am bound to return to Krassos, you understand?
Are you?
Well, I had planned on it.
Would you like to?
I would like you to return there with me.
I do not think very highly of Krassos. There are some exceptions.
Please roll me a
Shade check?
shade check. No, you are being honest, that's fine. You don't have to roll anything, he will roll. Okay. And how many men of Krassos have you met? On what are you basing this outrageous and slanderous allegation? He says with a smile.
Honestly, on the opinion of my family members.
I understand that. Family is a powerful thing. It just occurs to me, and he looks up, and after you guys have put up all the tents and started to have this conversation, these guys return a little while earlier.
I'm going to still be shoveling at the moment, if that's
Fine.
all right. I'll still be up. These 2 can come back, but I'm going to be off in the woods for a moment.
Well, that's you're digging.
Yeah, I wish to have a moment aside.
100%. So you've dug a hole and you have laid the elf in it, along with any of her possessions that you aren't taking with you. And it's going to take a while to shovel the dirt back in, which you'll be very happy to do. Mm-hmm. Is there anything you guys would like to say or do before you leave this place?
I wish I knew her name.
Yes.
So that you torture yourself with it like the others?
Volume up.
Sorry. So you could torture yourself with it like the others?
I'm not a soldier.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You stopped me killing a load of goblins on a hill, which I still don't understand, but you know what, it worked out for the best. I know what people who kill people look like, and it's not like you. You haven't killed anyone. What, you got waylaid and strapped to a dolmen stone by 5 assholes in the wilderness, and then some horrific amount of magical bullshit flows through you and they all end up dead? I will not shed a single fucking tear, because if they were waylaying people in the wilderness north of the border, they probably don't deserve your tears either. And you almost certainly wasn't your fault for killing them, because you just had a massive amount of energy flow through you from a fucking stone. You said you blacked out. The elf, the same thing. I do not believe you have the push to want to kill her.
I, in the meantime, have collected a couple of things from the nearby forest. I will have a feather. I'll have a little bit of water from one of the skins. I'll have a piece of wood that's been what am I talking about? The stuff that is left over from campfires,
Sure,
charcoal
charcoal.
sort of stuff. And I'll have a stone, which I will have laid at the 4 points around the body in the hole.
Lovely.
And then I'm going to take a handful of earth in the middle of this argument, in the middle of this lecture. And I'm going to say, unknown child, we commit your body to the earth, and I will offer you a handful of earth if you would like.
Take it and throw it in just as you did.
Marvellous.
Iris, these times she's dead. But it's not your fault. Elaine, don't know if you're listening or how this works. I don't really know how this works. She gets to the god that she was meant to go to, fine. If she can't find it, offer what aid you can.
And I'm going to say, I've got the ring in the book, and I'm going to say, I think, unless you would rather not, that these are best kept with you. Cool, and you take them.
Learn from it. Learn why.
And we will head back up and let York get on with his shoveling.
Sweet. You return, and as you enter the encampment area, it's like you could... you actually, Iris, have no idea. You're busy looking at this book, and you just buried this elf, and you just killed someone, and you had a really impassioned speech from York, and there's stuff going on inside you right now, and you're going...
He deserves inspiration.
He absolutely does.
What?
Thank you. Have some inspiration. What a lovely thing.
Yeah, it was glorious.
And I gave you inspiration earlier, Neve. I gave it to you for the song that you gave last session.
I spent it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Then have some more for the burial because I enjoyed that as
Oh,
well.
it's
It's gone off the table. Well,
Last,
never mind.
last
You
time.
can't get bigger.
Never to be seen again.
There we go.
Right. And yes, so Iris, you are unaware of this, but Neve, you are. You walk into a conversation, and both Captain Lucille and Lord Tyndall turn and look at you, and there's tension you could cut with a knife. Yes, Neve, welcome. We have erected the tents. Let's see. Roll me a d4 to see how many of them blow over. In comedy timing, we have erected the tents.
That'll be all four.
Four of them collapse around
I'm going to put a hand on Lord Tyndall's shoulder, and I am going to say, maybe next time you'll need to use the guy ropes. So he gets a d4. Putting up tents.
Great. You come. You put a hand on his shoulder. You cast guidance on him, and you impart some wisdom. He now knows vaguely how to put up a tent.
Lord Tyndall, proficient in putting up tents.
Mark it on your character sheet.
And he goes off to do that.
Marvellous.
So yeah,
Somebody help him.
he goes up to put up some tents, which he does. That's fine. And in fact, he's very happy to disappear from this conversation right now and go put up some tents. The evening passes. Would you like a moment alone, York?
Yeah.
Sweet.
York is setting to with a shovel and an expression of deep thought on his face, and eventually just starts talking. I don't really know how this works. He's still working with a shovel. I don't know whether I don't know. Yeah, I could do with a. This is going to get messy. We're going up to this well source. If the village we just passed is anything to go by, this is going to get worse. This is going to be worse than it was last time, and I'll do my best to look after them all. But I don't know if it's going to be enough. If you've got any attention to give or help to offer when we get there, I honestly think we could fucking use it. Because they're all good people, I think. Freya Freya just doesn't know what the world is yet outside of her own little life, and Neve is just trying to do her thing. Iris just needs. They don't know what the world's like. Well, Neve does, and then Lord Tyndall. How am I meant to try and protect Lord Tyndall as well? He's a noble north of the border. What am I meant to... I could do with the help if you got any free. And from a, I don't think I got around to saying this yet either, but thank you, I think, for saving my life. It would have been a shitload easier if you hadn't. It would have been a shitload more expected, and all this complexity and mess and bullshit. But thank you all the same, because it was not the thing you had to do.
There is a response.
Ultimately,
The three dots.
I'm just gonna do this. I have been the convention. They all
Elaine is
suck,
typing.
God, says chat. The chat says they all suck, God. Yes, the convention that I have been going with is that I have written these out, and I'm going to just start. I'm just going to start saying them for the sake of speed of. You hear a response that says, and I'm not going to do an accent for this. You hear a response that says, "You are most welcome. The world needs the help, and I have sent help. I have sent you. Have faith."
Right.
Yeah, probably takes a bit of the breath out of him, to be honest. And we'll finish his shoveling, nod, shoulder, and walk back towards the rest of the group.
Cool. Well, it was that, or get a new party, you fucking noob.
It's about an option.
Twitch chat, I think you might be on something there.
Okay, so Twitch chat, at some point, I'm really serious. I really want to explore the idea that there are gods, and they are voiced by chat. And so you
only the gods of trolling and trickery, though, Ash.
Yeah, that really makes sense.
That's fine, yeah.
Yeah.
A fickle and indifferent god. It's like, today you get blessings, tomorrow, I don't know, like pestilence or something.
Swarms of puffins.
So York returns and the evening begins to fall.
Dancing.
Yes.
Because
This didn't happen last session.
if I am training Lord Tyndall and his flippant response of he would teach me how to dance, then what kind of a tutor would I be if I missed lessons?
So you turn up and Lord Tyndall was waiting for you.
Hey!
He says, right, would anybody else like to participate? The lovely Freya, Lady Freya, Neve, Iris, will you dance?
Not tonight.
Neve.
Yes, I will. And then we have a 4, and surely there are lots of dances we can do with a 4.
Certainly there are. Stand. This is a rosiade, and he begins to teach you. He taught you a couple of basic steps last time, and now he's gonna. It's a rosiade, a dance of Crassus. Who, I tell you what, we should take it in turns, Lady Freya. Tonight, the rosiade. Tomorrow, something from Galatea.
Yes, I know how to dance. I paid attention in those lessons.
Please roll me a straight dexterity check.
Oh,
No proficiency, no nothing.
Josh.
Oh no, performance is performance exactly what it is. So it's charisma instead of dex.
Oh, okay. No, I'm actually okay with that. 7. Maybe I'm not. So it's better than a 4. Which
7 and 10.
Yeah.
All right.
And of course,
Neve, yes, please roll me a performance check and see how good you guys are. See how well you pick it up.
11.
11. All right. None of you, with the exception of York, so neither of the two ladies here trip over and fall on their face. York, you do a couple of times, and then Lord Tyndall says, "Stop! We must prepare ourselves. Please remove your armour."
I think York just genuinely forgot he was wearing it at this point and kind of, oh, yeah, no, that's fair.
So you take your armour off, and he says, all right, it is about poise and balance. So first we will stand, and he teaches everybody to stand, and it's really basic steps here. He is actually really good, and he's very happy to be showing off with something that he's really good at.
We're slowly
Insight
building him a
check,
character sheet.
please. Yeah.
He's got some ranks in for 4.
Oh dear, that's not going to do anything.
Lovely. Freya is oblivious to the fact that you two can see obviously, which is that he is really trying to impress her. And he's reached something which he's good at, and he's doing it. And he dances, you switch partners a couple of times, and he dances with Jorg, and he dances with Neve, and he does not dance with the Lady Freya.
Oh, Tyndall.
Always had trouble with my steps when I was learning sword play as well. But
Yes, they are a different thing, he says, and rubs a shoulder.
when it comes to footwork and sword play, what I'm seeing here is kind of similar, my lord.
Interesting. I look forward to tomorrow morning. And class dismissed. Thank you very much. He has a lovely baritone singing voice, and he has given the music by singing a brief, dun 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 dun. He's been doing the musicality for you guys, and in this way you pass the evening. Iris, what have you been up to?
I'm going to have a look at this book. So having got the ring and the book, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to cast
And the ritual knife.
You're going to cast Identify on the book.
Identify is
Had
a
a
great
bound and gag party.
Alrighty then. So, Iris, you cast Identify on the book. It will cost you a level 1 spell slot.
That does very nice.
Yep, this is exactly what it's for.
And I can I twin it? Cast it on the ring.
I guess you can. I see no reason why
I
you
spend a
can't.
sorcery point to also cast it on the ring.
Sweet. Okay,
Yes,
so
then.
Iris, while this dancing lesson is going on, you have been sat in one of the tents, and you put your hands onto the book, and you cast Identify. And a rune, somewhere on the small of your back, glows. You didn't know that, but now you do.
Oh.
You get runes for spells. And so you cast Identify, and as you put your hand on the book and cast Identify, the runes merge and move before your eyes. And you can see the letters shifting and changing, and you can then read them.
Okay.
And the title of this book is The Art and History of Power.
It is sorcerer's for dummies.
Okay. Good.
The tome itself is very old and is faintly magical. The clasp itself is magical, but it doesn't look like it's got magical properties. You are certain, in fact, having cast Identify on it, that the clasp means that it will not open to anyone who is not imbued with the ability to read these runes.
So then, and the ring?
The ring is a piece of black stone that has been formed into a symbol, and it is it looks like it is the same stone, same stuff as the dominant stones, same stuff as the pendant around your neck, and it is not in and of itself inherently magical.
Okay. So I
Or
will.
it be the same as the separating neck?
It was a casting focus for her.
Sure. Yeah, I wondered where it was because confirm that.
That's what it was.
Okay. Good. I will. I'm pretty sure the ring will open the clasp. I want to see if my pendant would as well. So if I put my pendant to where the clasp, where the indentation on the book is.
There is a and it opens.
Okay.
Spicy magic.
Exciting times.
Yeah, I will spend. Yes, I shall spend some time brushing up on my history of the art and
Power.
Power? No, the
The art is history
of power.
Of power.
Yes.
That is correct.
The opening.
Alrighty then.
The
Okay.
first line, there can only be one.
Yeah, that literally where my head was.
It's just a DVD.
It's a DVD player.
So this book contains an awful lot of information, and I'm not going to sit here and
Sure.
give you an info dump.
Yeah. And probably it will take me some time to read this in character.
That's correct. It takes you time to decipher it, time to read it, and I will give you bits and pieces as you go. But there's a lot in there. Don't lose this book.
Okay.
I mean, or do, and then be I don't know, clueless stuff. But yeah, there's things in that book. What you do find as you go through it, however, is that you require the identify spell to be able to read this book. You have because your reading time naturally comes to a close when your identify spell runs out after an hour or however long it lasts, and the information once again on the page, which you can see is hand drawn, becomes runes once again.
Okay.
And you go, oh, and you flip back through the pages that you've read, and they are runes and indecipherable to you once more.
Okay.
Good. And I will tell you what you get in a. We'll come,
Becomes relevant.
when it becomes relevant, we'll come to that.
Okay, good.
You actually asked the assembled. Does anybody have any pigment or paint or anything, or stain or anything like that?
What have I got? Well, I've got a herbalism kit. I could probably make you some sort of pigment things from plant dyes if you need it.
Raspberries.
If you could actually, that'd be helpful.
What do you need?
I feel like this needs to be somewhere other than on my chest, and I need to get on that.
All right.
So if I could have some way of marking it, I'd appreciate it.
Perception check, please.
Would you like it to be something
12.
more weather resistant?
Yeah, I'd like it to be there for a while.
Amazing. I'm going to go and I'm going to get myself some little bits from a particular kind of tree that I know will produce a pretty long-standing ink. It won't last forever,
But it'll do
last
the
for a
job.
good long time.
It'll get us to where we need.
So yeah, I'll mix you that up.
Thank you.
No problems. Very happy.
My first message.
The secret little note said great. If Neve is able to do that, I will.
There's a group of lizard folk soldiers approaching from the west.
Oh my god!
Shouts Freya.
Right.
What? Says Tyndall, poking his head out of a tent.
Well, that's all right. We have no problems with the lizard folk.
York does not have time to get on battle.
Out of armour. Yeah, Tyndall's desperately trying to get into some chainmail. He's Tyndall has. Let's see how he did. Tyndall is stuck. He is. Hold on.
I'm going to get my quarterstaff, but put on a very friendly aspect.
I'm gonna put my shield onto my arm and then go and help Lord Tyndall.
Probably take it off at this point.
It's my lord. If it's come to the stage where they're here and we're not wearing armour, putting it on isn't going to help.
Cool.
Hello, friends.
You turn and you look from the encampment. You can see going sort of up they're coming up the hill. There are a group of 5 lizard folk. I'll take straight intelligence checks from everybody.
13.
5.
9.
I'm otherwise engaged.
16.
16. You are pretty sure that these lizard folk are not the same as the lizard folk that you have met before.
I think they would be.
You're pretty sure these are not part of the prince's gang.
York will get.
You cannot be certain on a 13. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. But you're pretty sure that the colouring on them is
I
different.
also imagine there's uniforms in that. That's probably more.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Sorry,
York.
you're a soldier, and you look and you notice. The first thing you notice is that this is a military unit. The second thing you notice is that they are all uniformed, and the soldiers under Prince Tutek were not uniformed.
I'm
Someone
going
roll a
to.
12.
I'm gonna just quickly lay on hands myself for the remainder of the amount that
That's
I have
absolutely
left.
fine.
Once I've got Lord Tyndall.
You say hail in Estalian, and you are greeted by there's a burly-looking lizard folk who's she's got biceps, and she's coming up and she says, "Hail, travellers! And she gestures to her troop. There are her and 4. She says,
Would you mind translating for me?
She said hello, I think. My Starling's a little rusty. It's an older code, man, but checks out.
Still checks out. Hell. And they're not, attacking. They stopped halfway up the hill, but they weren't expecting anybody.
Everybody's twitchy.
Everybody's
we're
like,
a bunch
this
of
is-
strangers.
we're all fine.
What business have you here?
We travel with the Lady Neve to her business.
I see.
We're cleansing a corrupted well.
She turns and says something to one of the men, and the man, one of the men says something back to her in lizard folk, and they say, a priest, and sheathes the sword. You see them relax.
I did not know that the Browter cared for such things.
Most of them don't. I was very persuasive.
Well, we are looking. Have you seen any lizard folk about?
No. You're the first we've seen.
Deception check, please.
15.
And the same for all of you. You have seen no lizard folk in the area.
Around here, no, not at all.
Yeah, you don't speak Estali.
That is a wonderful way to get around that, making that all brilliant.
I mean, sorry,
I'll-
Browser. Lorem ipsum dolor.
So good, and highbrowter. I love that highbrowter's like, oh, dost thou speak highbrowter?
Peasant.
You realise, I just need to make this really clear, you know that like no one speaks highbrowter, nobles speak highbrowter, and maybe like really learned, educated people.
Some old texts are written in it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of texts are written in highbrowter. It's the language. It's sort of the lingua franca of academia. Yeah. So if you're a scholar, you will read and write highbrowter, sure.
Maybe a wizard.
Or a wizard, absolutely, you'll be writing highbrowter. But highbrowter is just not something that's written by. It's like Gothic German or Latin. It's an old language.
Spellcasting. F-I-R-E.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, we will not disturb you.
Beware that elven village has been overtaken by blight.
Blight.
You're better with the language than I am.
The poison from the well has had a strange effect on the flora and fauna. We hope that when the well source is cleared, that this corruption will disappear as well. But certainly, yeah, and I'll point, the elven village over on this side here has been completely overtaken. It is dead.
You see, she makes the sign of the protective horn, and she says,
Well, thanks for your warning. We will move on. The light is almost done. If you see a band of lizard folk, be very careful. They are traitors and liars.
and she leaves.
All right.
And they take their lizard men and they march.
Just before they go, so we know, what is your name?
My name is...
Hold, please.
Oh, please, right, York smashes the random name generator button.
No, I have it written down.
Of course, I would expect nothing less, Josh. I would expect nothing less.
No, come on, Josh. She tells you her name. It is...
Not Tirana.
It is not Tirana.
Okay, that's good to know.
Oh, good. Somebody else is keeping notes of the specific names because I'm taking the broad strokes. Somebody else needs to do the specifics at this point.
This is
Mr. Lizard.
no, this is Corparin.
Corparin.
What's Tutapek's full name again?
Tutapek.
Tutapek.
This is his
Okay,
name.
so,
Prince Tutapek.
okay, so the cool thing is sounding more and more like a family thing. Like a family.
Well,
It
It's
is.
called Corel is.
Yeah,
so-
Corel.
Oh,
You
so
have had
clearly,
another core
like
as well.
anybody with
Core
the
Catan.
Poctan.
anybody with the preference
Can't be
core is
on
on
site.
team bad guy.
Well, it's on team not to take.
Yes. Well,
Thank
also,
you, Luke.
like,
Mr. Lizard. Shane Lizard. The name's Lizard. James Lizard. Okay. Yeah, the lizard folk soldiers disappear. They had short spears.
You're kind of sucked to tears anyway. I'd really love it if we could move before we slept tonight, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, well, as far as you're aware, they totally bought that you hadn't seen the other lizard folk, which is fine.
Oh yeah, Lorg's just suspicious of shit. But
Absolutely.
Ideally, don't sleep where people know you are.
But you are not too far from the Lake of Tears, as evidenced by the very marshy terrain and by
Okay.
Well, like the fact that we saw
and the
it.
fact that you saw it, and the fact that you've met now two groups of lizard folk, which are you're within proximity.
Let's get some sleep. Iris, are you going to be able to take a watch this evening, or do you want some sleep?
I'll take my part.
Okay.
Sweet. Can you please roll me 2d12s?
Fine. You know what? Fine.
Somebody-
Fine.
I don't mind who does it.
I have to break this.
You got to do it at some point.
I have to break this streak some way. Close.
What do you get?
1 and a 10.
Together, that would be an encounter, but both watches pass relatively uneventfully. The second watch is Freya and Iris. You are on the second watch together, and you are roused gently by Jorg and Tyndall, who took the first watch.
Yes.
Neve, this is your night off from watches.
Yeah.
You get. There are 5 of you, and you've been taking turns, and so you are roused gently, and a fairly sleepy Lord Tyndall and Jorg go back to bed, and you realise that as you're sat around the low campfire that you still maintaining very gently, that you haven't spoken a great deal to each other, despite your travels. Because what you have here is an absolute peasant, lowest of the low, outcast from society. You've been running around and stealing things to make ends meet for most of your life. You were an urchin, basically, and until you fell in with Neve, who gave you a bit of woodsmanship and stuff. But that's basically what you've been. And then you have nearly never not slept on a feather bed. And there's it starts off as a pause with no tension, and it just slowly ratchets up until you're both sat there going,
Warm night.
Yes. If you say so, lady.
Can I ask you a question?
I think you'll find you just did.
Can you see all right
Yes.
past the sparkles? Do they get in your way?
You see over there? See the sheep bedding down with its lamb?
No.
No, I do.
yeah, it is pitch dark. You've been pointed, no one can see that.
Yeah.
It is outside the firelight, and the starlight is not strong enough to reveal what's further off in the woods and in the fields. But apparently, Iris has pointed off into the darkness and gone, "Do you see this thing?"
No.
My eyes can see. A sign of my lineage, I suppose.
That could be very useful.
Apparently, you've never met now.
No, I haven't. Still haven't.
Yes, very useful.
You don't have to call me my lady.
Well, I don't know, do I?
I don't know if I am one anymore.
Is that something you can give up?
If my father discovered what's been going on, maybe. Maybe it would be the
So the law of the land is you could be disowned, and you can voluntarily forfeit your lands and titles. You could do it. There are examples historically of times that people have done it. It is just really not usually done because lands and titles are pretty darn hard to acquire, and so why would you give them up? And you need to find a bard and do it in front of them and get legally recognised.
unrecognised.
Yes,
You're now a bastard.
Yeah, basically. You can be disinherited by your the head of your clan. So basically 3 ways to do it are you can go, I'm not doing this no more, and I give it all up. And you can do that officially. Or you can, your father or mother or whoever your direct superior head of your clan is, can say, no child of mine, get out. Or the Thane can go, this person, they're a knob. They don't deserve it. So they
can drop the big bang.
The Thane can do it. And in theory, so too can the High King. But the High King, there is no High King. So,
Well, don't tell the others that I'm not actually built to be a noble.
Oh. So what will you do then? Not marry Tyndall then?
Tyndall, I don't know.
He seems nice enough. You could do worse.
He could be worse. He could be worse, but I would be going to some castle in some shithole.
Most castles are pretty nice from what I hear.
They're boring.
Well, it has been interesting since you've been around.
and the evening, the watch passes.
First awkward conversation.
Yeah.
Bridges.
Growth. Well done, gang. And so you make your way forward to the next morning. The next morning, Tyndall wakes you up.
Yep.
My lord, I'm ready. He
Yes, my lord.
throws you a
Splashes some water in his face.
throws you a stick, and you begin your morning lessons. That's where we'll
Yeah, no, absolutely.
we'll hand wave that. But they happen, and Tyndall, he's ready to go.
He's eager and like seemingly wanting those.
That's right.
Almost like he was listening at a tent door last night and heard something he shouldn't have.
Not the worst. Could be worse.
Could be worse. Yes. Got something to aim for.
I'll take it. And yeah, you pack up camp and get ready to move out. Neve, you're pretty sure now.
No lady.
You're pretty sure now down the hill.
Calling you that. It's been several times people have called you Lady Neve.
They have, and every time
I roll my eyes.
no noble would do it. So
Yeah.
if I ever do it, it's a mistake. And I will try and correct that. I'm trying really hard to get my ladies and sirs correct in character, because some people
Pronouns are important.
they really are for different people.
But also from a lower class character, it is a good way of hedging your bets.
It's an honorific. It's not
But when York was using it, it was definitely more as a
term of
this
respect.
is the person in
So-
charge and who you should refer to.
So the river follows up, and you can see down to the east of the hill that you're on. The river follows up and into the mountains proper, and you start making your way down and through back into the boggy terrain. Yes, you have all had the benefit of a long rest.
Yeah.
Neve was okay to put me some pigment together that I have painted it. Like it's not the entire shield, but there is a mark like left hand side or something like that,
Sweet.
which is the Chalice of the Lane.
Lovely. You have painted the Chalice of the Lane on your shield, and that's good to know. Thank you. Yes, so you notice that Yorg, in his armour, now has a mark of the lane emblazoned on his shield. You guys make your way through, and the tree line gets thicker and darker the closer you go. You notice that compared to yesterday, where there were loads of animals, more than you'd expect, different birds and beetles and insects and things, as you progress today and get closer towards the well... Oh, if you need to change your spells
I
up,
do,
you can
yes.
do that.
I've just thought, thank you.
That's fine. There are fewer and fewer animals.
Oh, thank goodness.
goodness.
I hate bugs.
Fewer and fewer animals. So there are many fewer birds, and it gets to the point that after a few hours you can't hear any. And you see that there is a small path that has been built that goes along. It's a small stone path that leads almost alongside the river, and there are a couple of ruined buildings almost submerged in the swampy woodlands, scattered around. They're made out of old stone and they are crumbled and gone. There's a couple of towers that you see, or that would once have been towers, and there's maybe half a floor left of them and the rest is lost to history. They are covered in moss and vines, and the air is now quite thick with bugs. It is
Oh no.
damp.
Neve, do you have any spells for this? Oh.
It is humid and cold.
I'm sorry, my lady. I think you're just going to have to suck this one up.
You don't need that lemon smelling stuff.
Hmm?
You don't need that lemon smelling stuff. The apothecaries in the camp used to use it. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it works, but the
I
bugs...
might have a level. Yeah.
And Lord Tyndall is making his way. These damn flies.
I have a particular kind of wood oil that if we put a little bit of it on the back of our necks, it'll keep away the worst of the bites on our exposed skin.
Okay. So you
Please.
all right. So yeah, you daub some stuff on you, and it keeps a lot of things away, but it starts to really smell here as you make your way through. You can see. Iris, you see first. There are...
What do your half-elf eyes see?
Iris, you first see that there are some dead animals around the place. There's a pig that is very dead and really decayed and has things growing through it, lots of dark patches in its skin. And you see that the river that you're following now looks sluggish and gross. It's got streaks of a nasty black substance flowing through it. And you are fairly sure you are relatively close to the water source. You are following, like I said, a little stone path that's going up.
My Lady Freya and Lord Tyndall, there is, we encountered it looked like a collection of leaf litter, but very much ambulatory and unpleasant. So do keep an eye out for those. You can try and suffocate you to
Keep
death.
an eye out for some leaves.
No, moving.
You see some leaves.
Moving dead leaf litter is something that
A leaf
can
falls off a tree behind you.
It kind of moves in a big mass like a carpet.
It's actually quite hard now to tell where the stream that you were following is, because the water's it's sort of everywhere. The whole ground is covered in about a foot of water, and it's sludgy. There are patches of dry space that you guys are following, but you're having to hop over some of the sunken areas. It's like a beach at really low tide, and some areas are really boggy and some areas are not. And it's pretty gross. And the leaves are attacking. Roll initiative, says Chad. That's in a second. And it's pretty gross, and you start making your way. What is your armor class, please, Neve?
My armor class, 13.
13.
Next to me.
This doesn't count with this.
Okay.
On a 13, as you walk past a tree,
Oh, God.
the bark around it breaks, and there's a sudden thrumming, and pouring out of the tree is a swarm of, they look like horrible mosquito things. Their bodies are thick, and as they flap their wings really quickly, they're only about this big, as they flap their wings really quickly, there are dripping little bits of black ichor coming from them. And the swarm attacks you.
Oh, Jesus.
There is suddenly a thick cloud of black flies that are swarming in and pecking at Neve. Neve, would you like to take yourself 4 points of damage?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Chanela or is it damage resistance? Yes, versus bugs.
It's 4 points of damage is what you take. Guys, what do you do? There's a huge swarm.
I am going to
No, not yet. We'll
start trying to smash bugs. They may be on me with the flat of my swords.
Sure. Okay, please make me 2 attacks with your swords. So they are in your space, but you can attack them without disadvantage.
This is not very well.
No?
12.
Okay, so roll me your damage and higher. So you swing in at the swarm, and it's really hard. Even with the flats of your blades, you are sweeping in, and I mean, you're getting a few of them, but there are loads. There are hundreds of these things, and they're gross. This is disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Iris.
No, me. I'm going to druidcraft myself a little mini whirlwind to just like push these guys away. It's going to be like a really strong gust of wind, whoa, like that. It won't last for very long, but enough just to disperse the swarm for a second.
I like that. Make me a nature check, please. Yes.
Yep, like 22.
Great. Yeah, there's a sudden gust of leaves, and in a spiral that comes up from the wet ground, it's actually the water that you bring up around you in a gentle, like a spin cycle, and it pushes it gets a lot of the swarm, and they are pulled down into the water and then free themselves and come up, and you can see there's lots of little black shapes in the water, but they have stopped immediately attacking you, but they are beginning to pick themselves up, and this swarm, is not very nice.
Neve, back off and see if Iris can do the thing with the burning.
Yeah, I'm
You're up for
already out of that space.
The swarm is pulling itself out of the
giant swarm of bugs. If you've got a handful of burning, setting my beard on fire, don't do that, please. Shit again, then
Tyndall is
that'd be a good time.
standing there with his sword and he's uncertain what to do.
I'll try. I think I can. So reaching around to where the new rune is here. Try and see if I can get fire to come out of my hands.
Okay.
Downrange.
Can you please make me a charisma saving throw?
That's not good.
Mm-hmm.
That is 19.
On a 19, you reach up to do it and you feel the runes start to glow faintly on you, and the power surging from within you goes up your arm and it travels, and then there's just a moment of hesitation where you go, because this is what happened before. There was fire and death and it all went terribly, terribly wrong. But everybody's standing behind you and it looks like they're all counting on you, and the swarm are now mostly out of the water, and there's a great buzzing cloud coming towards you, and you push your hand out and close your eyes. Everybody else, there is a terrific gout of flame. You feel the force breach your skin and push out, and it's like a flamethrower has just engulfed this swarm. I'm not even going to let you roll damage for this. They will absolutely be defeated by a burning hand spell. A level 1 spell on a swarm of horrible things is enough. And it incinerates them, and you see it sears some of the bark of the nearby trees, and there's a little fire that started on one of the stumps, and as the smoke clears, you see that there's a powdery ash that has settled in the water. It is unlikely this particular forest is going to catch flames because it's so wet.
It's all water. York will let out a low whistle at the point where everything gets quiet. Like, I don't think it's any less impressive for being this end of it, but I'm really glad my beard's not on fire.
Are you alright, Iris?
I think so.
Go.
Well done.
I would recommend to keep yourself prepared. We might need that one again.
So, cool.
You get a D4 for your next roll.
Not for saving throws, that's for skills.
No, for in principle.
Well, whatever your next thing is.
Sweet. You make your way and you see, in fact, Iris, you see first because you have the best eyes of the group. And you can see that there is a large, you can't describe it in any other way as a sort of a mini lake that is through the tree line ahead of you. Although it's a strange lake because clearly there are bits of it that are very deep, but this green grassy moss that is growing around the waters is covering the lake as well, and so it's very hard to see how deep it is and where the lake ends. So it looks like a great big watery, grassy plain ahead of you. There are several things of note. The most important.
I take a list.
You can see. Here we go.
Oh no, he had the map prepared, guys. We're all
You
doomed.
can see.
Oh,
This is what it looks like, and all of this area here, and indeed most of this area, it's really hard to tell how deep it is and where it goes. There are patches. This brown stuff is probably stable, but it might be a floating island that might still be stable, but it's.
these parts.
This is the path that you are treading. You are going to be coming on from this way. There is this stone building is one of those ruined towers that I was talking about, which is right there. You can see an enormous, in this mass here, there is an enormous tree, and it's huge, and it's spreading its branches over the canopies. Let's get this. That's the right one. It's spreading its branches, and it's forming a lot of the canopy around it. No, that's right. I've got a tree. I got a tree.
Oh, right. Oh no, that wasn't what I was thinking.
There's a large tree that you see is creaking and twisting, and in amongst the bark there is dark black ichor that is leaching. Some of the other trees around here are also of the same variety of dark black ichor leaking from the bark, and there is a colossal. Please don't look at any of my players. Look away. A colossal black wing, which is poking out of the water over there. And that is where we're going to take a 10-minute
Bagsy,
break.
not fucking it.
Oh my god.
Players, please stay and entertain chat.
This one's on you, Tyndall.
It must be a
So-
Pegasus.
So,
Pegasus.
Yes. Just
But-
stuck under the water.
Pegasus of night.
for chat's benefit, I have a reasonably funny anecdote around things being described in rooms. We entered a room. We had an in-depth and sumptuous description of mosaics, piles of treasure, like urns and standing sconces of torches. And then just dropped in right at the end of this was, and a black dragon. And we're all like, seriously,
Surely that's like
Robin,
what you
of the
see
list of
first.
things we will pay attention to first, black dragon, pretty mosaics, can we have it in order? We're fucked.
I'm pretty sure I could sleep it.
Yeah, we'll just casually sleep the dragon.
I do need a new mount.
Cool, you go and deal with that. We'll be way back there. Oh, shit.
Oh boy.
It's fine.
It might just be a dead thing under the water, he says, knowing it isn't deep in his soul. So, chat. What brings...
TPK. TPK.
Hush
Oh
you.
my god.
Well, this might be the end of Tyndall.
You
Don't
can't say that.
fucking say shit like that, alright? I have an
Tyndall's the
investment here.
MVP.
Tyndall is the innocent. If this were a horror movie, he'd be the only one who made it out.
Yeah, they're all horrible people.
What?
Huh? Oh, maybe not Iris. I
Oh,
don't know,
sorry, Iris, your horror
actually,
has been
did you-
visited
did
upon
you,
you
did you
by,
have did you have extramarital sex at any point? Because that means you're not making it out of here.
Not that I'm aware of.
Right, okay. Well, in that case, you and Tyndall will fight for the...
No, but the thing is, she's got like the evil rune powers.
Oh,
so
no,
she'll
she's a
get-
witch, and therefore is inherently evil by her nature. Yeah,
Exactly.
no, is dead. Sorry, we're going over horror movie tropes as to why Tyndall's the only one who's going to make it out alive.
That seems very reasonable to me. He's the final girl, right?
He's the innocent in this. Like, she's a witch and therefore inherently evil. Neve is just evil incarnate. Like, she's clearly playing the party this whole time like a fiddle.
Well, she's in tune with whatever the forces are.
She's the hippie. There we
Yeah.
go. You smoked all
Yeah.
them drugs and,
Yeah.
and done all that stuff. York's just a murdering bastard, and so are you. It turns out.
Right.
You are spurning your family.
Yes.
Like you're being like, I'm gonna go and do my own thing rather
Thank
than
you.
That's
chat.
definitely the worst thing
Yeah.
I've
Thank you.
yes, totally.
Yes, I'll be back in 5 minutes, and then we will crack on.
Marvelous.
Yes.
You
Yes,
bring me fluids.
I will bring you a glass
Oh.
of water up.
Thank you.
What would you like? Some tea?
Or anything easy or hard, whatever you
Fill that
want.
with
Anything
busy
easy or hard?
Water, tea,
Everywhere. And not
Well, I don't have a fetish about drinking Josh's piss. Shut up.
I'm now worrying that you do. I wasn't thinking it before. I am now.
Yes. Slowly, my insidious influence flows.
Bleach the nobility, apparently.
Bleach the nobility.
I like it.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Ray already has white hairs. Can
Drink, please.
Yeah, what colour? The real question here is Freya might have white hair, but what colour are her roots?
Oh wait, hang on. We want the other camera. Here we go.
Yeah,
There.
like Freya might have white hair, but what colour are her roots?
boobs?
Roots? No, God, what? Root? I
How
was
dare
asking-
you ask such a thing?
No, that's why I didn't.
Wait, so you wanted to?
No. For fuck's sake, carrot fire. Yes, it was more the fact of is this a natural? Is this a natural?
Oh,
hair?
roots.
Roots. Do you? Is it a dye job?
I'm not a druid.
Yes, my lady.
Oh.
Tyndall.
Kim, inspiration might come in useful in this fight for you.
Oh yeah, I've got inspiration as well.
Oh no. Oh no. Everybody's going to explode. I don't want everybody to explode.
I have more than one sword.
That is true. You are, as a result, just twice as good as any of us. We'll leave you to it.
And infinitely better than me, clearly, because I have no swords.
I offered you one.
Yeah, and
You were all like, oh.
It was great.
Do I know how to
do
use
either
it?
of you want this sword? And we just both looked at you blankly, like,
What? What is this?
What for?
What is this odd straight piece of metal you are offering me? I don't know what. Is it like a ruler? Do you? I'm aromantic. Sorry, I'm aromantic. I don't experience any romantic attraction to other. I'm grey romantic. I experience very limited romantic attraction. I'm very romantic. I experience romantic attraction only after emotional connection. I'm aromatic. I give off a pleasant smell. I like that. That's quite cool. Why do these women have disco balls on their heads?
I don't know. I don't know.
They are
what
disco balls. They are the disco.
They are the disco. I really wish. That's Josh's sound
ambient
effects.
seagulls.
Ambient seagulls.
Ambient
yes.
seagulls.
Clearly went in the post.
I swear to God, if I hadn't learnt to ignore the background noise of seagulls
Background noise of seagulls.
about 5 years ago, I'd be mad now because moving down to Brighton was like, you either learn to sleep through the seagulls or you die. So either I did learn, or the last 5 years have been a really interesting psychotic break in all of your hallucinations.
No one is awesome than me can be real.
Wow, that's like a real. I don't know how to take that. Are you like doing yourself down or what? That's like,
Yeah,
no,
I'm
that's
sorry.
really
Like you're part of an amazing Dungeons and Dragons group that meets regularly.
Oh
This
yeah,
is
no, you're right.
crazy.
It's clearly a hallucination. Yeah.
No one's.
Chat, and my doctor's trying to break through to me. That's what this whole thing is. Yeah.
Oh no, we're up in the attic, so if we have the windows open for any reason whatsoever, it is just living among the seagulls.
One with
Yes.
South Coast nature.
One with the terrifying
With it?
tiny velociraptors.
Those are chickens.
Yeah.
Those are chickens.
Does it?
No, like
OG
seriously.
representation.
We had, because my brother, my brother is now an awesome zookeeper, but like when he was
An awesome zookeeper, like better than normal zookeeper.
it's
He's got like
amazing.
he's
so
leveled
good.
up.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
is the best zookeeper.
Like chest hair is just in the
but
pattern of Australia.
Before he was a zookeeper, he was known kind of locally as like the guy who you took injured animals to because he would know what to do. And we had some people.
Euthanize. Euthanize.
Yeah.
Euthanize.
Oh, we had some people turn up and go, a baby seagull has fallen off the roof around the corner. What should we do? And he was like, just leave it. Just leave it. Either its parents will get it or it will get got by cats, and that's fine. And they were like, but we can't. It's so cute. And my brother was like, oh my God. So he went around and looked and then came back to the house to my parents and was like, guys, I think we might have to look after a baby seagull. And my dad was like, absolutely not. No way, no way. I have put up with so much. I will not have a baby seagull. And then Dan brought the box around, the little shoebox, and was like, but no. And this thing must have been like a day or two old. And it was at the very, very small part of a seagull's life where it's really cute. And my dad was like, okay.
Seagulls are
fine."
cute?
They are cute for like, I think all of about 20 hours.
Okay, cool.
And so the seagull moved into the house, and then once it was sort of big enough, it moved out into the garden.
Shitting literally everywhere.
Well, there was that. But it moved out into the garden, where it just so happens there are other birds living. We at that point there were like ducks and chickens. There might even have been a goose at that point. Yeah, oh my god. Oh my god. And so we had this tiny little baby seagull who was sort of duping around in with the others, and we were going, man, that's so weird. Look how freaked out all the other birds are by this tiny cute baby seagull. But it was all fine, and they were getting on absolutely all right. And one of the chickens had just had some baby chickens. And then we came back one day, and the seagull had eaten some of the chicks. And at that point, we were like, never again.
Because seagulls are bastards.
Yes, it was
Don't
just a
walk around
tiny feathered velociraptor.
Don't walk around in Brighton with food on the seafront. They'll fucking have it, and you. You ever want to kill somebody? You just push them out onto the pier with like a Mac with like fucking burritos stuck to them.
Yeah,
and
chips.
They'll just
Just
die.
chips
Just
everywhere.
explode.
Oh.
P is for pterodactyl and other, the worst alphabet book ever. Literally a book that exists.
Oh man, that'd be great. Yeah, P is for pterodactyl. K is for knife.
Literally a book that exists.
One of my son's favourite books.
C is for Czar.
This is a Ball,
This is a ball.
which has a picture of a cube on it. This is the ball.
The pen is blue.
And then it's got like it's got a picture of a monster and goes, this is a princess. And it's got a picture of a princess and goes, this is a monster. Look, I can see its eyes.
No, that's the rest of this has been accurate so far.
Is this like the kids' version of Ceci Pow and Peep?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man,
So basically, the point of this book is so that the kids can disagree with you and go, no, stop being silly. That's the monster, and that's the. And look, there's the frisbee in the park.
How do you know whether it could be a princess of its people? You
Of
fucking
course.
close-minded bigot. Get out.
That's my son you're talking to.
Not
Not me. I said it was a princess.
Well, there we go. You're more open-minded than your son. You need to teach your son better. That's what it comes down to. I blame the parents personally.
My parents.
No, I blame you. That's what I'm
Everyone
saying.
can blame my parents.
Oh, okay. Can we blame your parents? Like just in general, if we need to blame someone, we just blame the parents. Okay. Well, you turned out fine.
I actually have that on a t-shirt as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Because
Whoa, what was that?
This is being thrown on the
Oh
floor.
no.
Great.
My attempt to assassinate the
Nothing.
Well, apparently it's got more
fine.
hit points than some bludgeoning damage from scissors.
Thank you very much.
Scissors don't do bludgeoning damage. That's not
They
what-
do when they land on the side and not
That's,
on the
that's
point.
not what running with them taught me, Jacob.
What did it teach you?
Mostly,
I don't need my spleen.
mostly that it's really, really lucky that guy with a spare eyeball was dying.
This is Neve's voice pace when she sees the wing.
This is
What
Amy's.
do you think I am, made of hands?
This is Amy's.
Oh, I see.
This is Amy's. You're a monster. You forgot me. voice.
Princess.
Yes.
Monster.
What? She's totally not a monster. She's a princess.
You've not seen what she eats. There's a reason I bring her that. It's a sacrifice to save the rest of you. To her, you're just all popcorn.
Oh yeah, I need to open this now while we're in the break. There we go.
Maybe we can have a camera inside the
Popcorn can.
Popcorn
Yeah.
can.
As long as it doesn't have any kind of microphone, because
Oh my
goodness,
god.
these colossal hands reaching.
Right.
Josh walks up, throws it in her face, sits down.
There's
You wanted some water?
How do you like that?
Thank you,
Wet.
husband.
Oh, emotional manipulation at its best, kids. Look at those eyes.
I love you.
Now that you've done
It's all
something for me,
wasted. That's
yes,
why
the
I-
bins need to go out.
That spell only works when there's eye contact.
Oh, man, it gets me every single time that you've got a water filter. I'm just not used to it.
Yes, the water filter we have is a thin mesh that catches the rainwater and filters out some of the impurities.
Had I not known you better, Josh,
Kittens.
I would genuinely be concerned that might be the truth at this stage.
Right.
Raw water in its rawest form. Yes.
Raw. Okay, and
Meets in that
we
seagull.
are back.
Oh
So,
god, we're gonna die.
yes, this is where you are travelling along this path. The path here is actually much more maintained than it has been. You can see there are areas where it has fallen through.
Is the dragon looking after it?
Query. That might not be a dragon. might
Yes,
be
go.
Is there a tree that looks similar to the setup that was last time, or is it this thing?
There is indeed, and it looks bigger. The deep-rooted
boy.
tree, as you now approach, Iris, you can see the deep-rooted tree, because we got the slide. The deep-rooted tree has cracks in its bark, and the black ichor leaking through. You can see this thing has lots of roots that spread out, and there's a little mound of earth around it, like a little island that it has formed, being a giant root structure. And the island is slowly moving as the tree moves.
Oh wow!
And it makes its way through the slurry and watery ground with a.
Well, that's bigger.
Towards us.
It has not necessarily noticed you.
Well, that's bigger than last time.
It is there.
Oh wow!
Yes. This is the tree thing, which is there. You can see that there are a number of other trees. I'm using the same blight models as before, but these are not the same things. But you can see that clearly it's some form of blighted growth. There are a number of others. Where is my thing? Tell me where they are. And they... what's that there?
One next to the player party. It eats Lord Tyndall.
Okay. No, it does not eat Lord Tyndall to begin with. These things are...
What, the mighty Lord Tyndall, Dragon Slayer, and his party?
And
that's how he's going to tell
and
it.
his hype group.
These are... You are not certain if they are all going to move and attack you. They are very difficult to tell. These are, as far as you can tell at the moment, regular trees. Some of them might be gross, horrible things. Some of them might not. But there are trees growing through the...
Okay. The
These
fucking
trees
terrifying
could
wing
come-
sticking out of the bog
Yeah.
aside.
No, I
Yeah,
think
you
we
need
should
to
actually
close
take a
the
look at that and try and figure out what it is.
I want to have a look at this wing and try and work out, like, is this thing alive?
On a scale say 1 to 20, if we were to apply a challenge to it, like a rating, a challenge, Josh.
some sort of challenge.
Let's go 1 to 20. Yeah,
Quarter to 20.
Quarter to 20. Okay, no, that's fair. How would you say? How fucked are we?
On a quarter to 20, this thing will be at least a 7.
Yeah. What? Back in it.
Well, there's only so many flavours of black dragons that you can use.
I'm
And
gonna
while there
have
is a CR2 black dragon, that just seems really boring for a second level party. Carry on.
I'm looking at this wing. I'm trying to work out, like, is whatever it is that's attached to it meant to live under the water or not? Is it alive or is it dead?
Right,
rotting in
please take me a nature check, and you'll have to get a bit closer to do this.
Okay.
How close are you?
It is not
18.
really dark in here, but this is
How much
a...
closer?
Oh, you're going along the path or through the water?
I've got to get closer to the wing.
Right. Okay,
Oh, no, that's true. That's right. That's much easier.
Yeah, that's why we're not initiative, so you can head there. Great. This is a fetid swampland. The trees are fairly thick overhead, but light does come through. There's a thin layer of sort of a dank mist over the ground. It is not easy to find your path here. And you have found travelling here that several steps you have taken have proven treacherous. You've gone, oh, that's much deeper than I thought it was. There are pockets and pools all over this place, and it's pretty gross.
My lord. take the lady's protection and stay the fuck away from that thing.
Great. Yorg, you once again clap your hand onto Tyndall, and a glittering chalice forms in the air, pouring its protection over him. And he, again, is clad in sparkling vestments. That was a really good thing to put on him because it will work.
So I've gotten a little bit closer to have a look at this wing.
Okay, as you get a little bit closer,
and then going to start moving up.
That's fine. As you get a little bit closer, there is a skittering underfoot, and something splashes out of the water next to you and runs over your foot and back into the water. It's like a giant millipede.
Okay.
It's only about a foot long, but that's a lot longer.
You say only a foot?
Yeah, it's like it's like a subway-sized millipede, and it comes up and over you, and it's really
going to Subway
ruined Subway for Zoe.
it's really gross. It's it doesn't attack you.
No.
But it looks nasty, and you look around and you can see that there's a lot of those kind of insecty, nasty things living in this swamp.
That's fine. I understand
Yep.
that there are lots of nasty insects.
What did you get
I'm
on your
looking
nature
at
check?
is a great big fucking
What did you
wing.
get on your nature check?
18.
On an 18, and given your innate understanding of the well, you can sense that the dark black ichor that has been pervading this well source and spreading down the stream that has been a blight on the land is coming from whatever this wing belongs to. There is this so this is the source. This wing, it looks like it's curled and folded back on itself.
So it doesn't look like a natural position.
It's not a very comfortable position for this creature if it is a...
Right, so injured, probably dead.
You're not certain. But there's something... Yeah, in fact, you can see around this there is a much darker pool of black ichor that seems to be coming from this thing. And, yeah, is spread out to the entirety of the well.
Neve, what are we doing? Is this the same as last time? Do I need to go for the roots on this big motherfucker over here?
This is
I don't know how long we've got until they...
not the same as last time.
That thing looks very similar to what I took the roots out of last time. I don't know what that is, but
yeah,
is this...
but I'd imagine that...
There is movement from the giant tree.
Don't know how long we've got until...
But I'd imagine that the rest of the things around here can be dealt with in a similar fashion to what we did before.
So, okay, everybody, we need to protect Neve while she does this ritual. If she can get this ritual off, we'll probably all live through it.
Cool.
Come here.
Right.
Well, Tyndall, protect Neve.
Yes.
That's a good call. Protect Neve.
Draws his sword. From what?
That whatever it is that comes at us.
All right.
So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kneel down where I am, and I'm going to do a purify food and drink.
Yeah, that's like pure water spell. Yeah.
No, it works.
Neve, where are you, please? You are there.
There,
Right.
to try
Okay.
and clear some of this swamp so that I can then...
Neve raises her staff and she plunges it down into the water, and there are ripples of the same golden light that you saw before that start emanating from the staff, and the filth and the green algae and the black ichor sludge that is pervading this area starts to clear from the water in a ring around you. These wipe off so we can use them.
Woo!
No, more gold dice kit. You've got
Oh yeah, I do have golden dice, excuse me. So yes, the water starts to clear in the area around you.
Tiny golden tank traps.
As this occurs, there is movement, and I will take initiative from everybody, please.
Oh, but I need that initiative.
You can't have it, it's mine.
Okay.
Did you yoga?
Okay.
No.
Oh, you didn't.
The anti-yorked.
Alright, anti-yorked, which means everybody's going to
crikey.
die. Because I can either roll
roll
well.
really well.
Really well.
Oh,
wait,
wow. Well, it's
wait,
Wait.
Freya.
19.
Wow.
So literally, we're all ready. It makes sense.
Yeah.
We're all
Yeah,
ready.
you're all prepped. You're all ready. So,
Seems like we sort of.
what's everyone's initiative, please?
19.
No, 19.
20.
Okay, 1 second. Anyone get more than a 20? Right, so 20, you are definitely going first.
Cool.
And 20 is Iris. 19, anyone more? No, 19
I draw
is...
19 as well.
Right, so that's Neve. And you can choose on your turn which order you're going to take your actions in.
Ooh.
Yeah, tying initiative is really good because you get to decide
Oh,
every time.
who rolled for Tyndall?
What does Tinder
He has +0 to everything. 5. Great.
That's fine. Tyndall's very good.
Did anyone get anything? York, what did you get?
17.
17 for York.
Nice.
Double figure initiative. It's a rarity for me.
Mm.
Okay, 17 is York. And...
Not last.
Not last for a change.
Sweet, yes indeed.
Then Josh proceeds to roll natural 20 for everything else.
It's not a natural 20, but it's pretty good. But they are very slow. So, it is initiative, and Iris, you are first to act. You can see the well has become aware of you, and it feels like that. So you will know this is your first time in one. This is a lair, and as a consequence, I get lair actions, which trigger on a 20.
That definitely should have triggered these woob sense. Like, I'm just putting it out there.
This-
That's definitely a woob
Oh no,
sense.
like I'm fully
It was
wounded.
triggering my root sense.
But Iris, you are first, because
Okay.
you break ties with Levis.
Excellent. In that case, I think seeing that it's all coming alive, I am going to bless Neve and Jorg and Freya.
Sweet. Congratulations, guys.
Nice.
You have all been blessed. Please describe what this looks like.
So, again, drawing on the power from the now ring I'm wearing and amulet around me.
Soon you will be a monolith
That's
yourself.
right, I'll just be covered in stone. I won't be able to move. There's sort of a bluish,
Yeah.
a bluish energy which sort of comes out and comes round and almost surrounds you.
Oh, cool.
Almost like a suit on. Kind of a bit like Mr. Glitter Sparkles over there.
Mm-hmm.
It's
That's
Steve.
Thank you kindly.
So yes, you are blessed, and you feel that there is energy surging and protecting you. You know what? You can do this. This is going to be fine. Ho ho ho.
So just for chat, a layer, to the best of my understanding, is almost like another monster in the encounter. It's basically the terrain and environment we're fighting in.
That is correct.
Okay.
So on a 20, can everybody please make me a strength saving throw?
With D4s if you have them.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. Oh, with D4s.
This is one of the things it can do. This is so good.
17.
17, you resist this?
9.
No, 9.
With the plus D4.
That's unfortunate. Didn't make it. What did you get, Fred? 7. Lovely.
14.
Says the
And
young lady
Tyndall?
with minus.
You got a 14.
I got a 14.
minus two
And
strength.
Tyndall, I'll roll. I'll run Tyndall this session. That's fine. Tyndall does as well. Okay. So
Is that literally everybody except me?
that is
I
correct.
got I got a 14. I thought that was decent.
15 is what you need.
Ah.
So on a 20, there is the waters of the well bubble and surge around you, and you can see a lot of the life in them starts to move and twist as the well itself moves and twists, and it's like a great big it's like a tray of something that's been put into the oven, and it's all moving and bubbling, and you can feel tendrils of water like eels wrapping around you.
There we go.
And would people like to? Who passed? Yorg, you passed.
Yep.
Which means,
Done.
on a 20 initiative, Tyndall is 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go. Let's do this. This is Iris, who
That's fine.
sorry, Freya. You are throwing 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. Iris, you are pulled 1, 2. I can't go over the road. 3, 4 to there. You pass, which is good. Neve, you can roll with advantage. Have an attempt because
With
you are
my D4?
with your D4 because you're trying to post the roll.
That's number 2.
That is enough.
19.
Neve, you
Mine's funny.
feel the,
Oh, yeah.
in fact, the golden light that is surrounding you is defending you from the influence of this well. It
Nice.
reaches out and it tries to pull you. Yes, indeed, sorry. Tyndall is prone. You are prone and you are prone.
Oh no.
On a
No,
20.
my chimney.
But no damage. So yeah, you are dragged into the water and pulled. Some of it is through deeper water, and some of it you feel it scraping across you, and it's nasty. It's going to graze, but it's not going to do any actual damage. However, you are sodden and covered in filthy, dark water. That was a 20. Neve, you're up.
Great. I am going
It's left,
to.
Dope.
Now, guidance is.
Only 3 things.
So, guidance is an action, so I could choose to do
That's
guidance
only
or.
for skill checks.
Oh, right.
So I've given the +4s
So it
for
doesn't-
attacks and saves.
Yeah.
Great.
You are currently focusing on the ritual.
Great. Then
It's going to take an action to do that every turn, basically.
You just focus
Yeah.
on the ritual.
I'm gonna keep doing that.
Okay. Can you please make me a wisdom saving throw?
With the +D4.
With a +D4. Oh, yeah, bless. That's so good. So good.
I'm thinking only 19, 20.
20. On a 20, you push your curative influence out even further. I'm just going to
You
use...
still got dust if you need it.
Well, what I want to do is I imagine I'm going to need the dust for this.
Right, so you have pushed your...
The light catching these makes it look really fucking cool.
It's just awesome, isn't it? Right. So, yes, you have pushed your healing influence out here, and you can feel, Iris, that the black Icarus nastiness and the pulling tide of the water recedes from you, and the current is no longer dragging you. It is, however, Freya, you're up to go.
I'm going to. Am I still being dragged actively?
You have been dragged, and as the pulse of healing energy filters through the well, I'll check that in a second. Thank you, I forgot. The pulse of healing energy filters through the well. You are no longer being dragged actively, but this could happen again at any point.
I'm going to attempt to flip up onto my feet. Is this obviously hostile, or is it still just a tree?
You are uncertain. It is
Who could
currently a tree. It is dripping.
I'm going to
black
attempt
ichor.
to just flip past.
Okay, so
Back
you would
into
like
the
to flip
circle
up.
if I can.
As you guys move, everybody's effective maximum movement for this fight is 20 feet, unless you take an acrobatics check to be able to deal with moving through
Or athletics.
or athletics. I'll take
Or
either.
you're on the path.
Or you're on the path. Path is completely unaffected. Yes, so you would like to flip up, which is fine. In fact, yeah, we'll make the rules even simpler. It's an acrobatics or athletics check, or half movement. That's the where this is. So you flip up.
20 on my acrobatics.
Okay, you're easily...
Basically walking on
Your
water.
hair goes... And you take a second pause and pick up your hat. And put it on, there's a... and it drips down
Oh
you.
no.
Yeah, your clothes are sodden,
Yeah.
but you're in leather, so you should be okay. Where are you headed?
I'm going to attempt to get back into the circle, really.
Okay, sweet. So move yourself.
Slosh,
Yeah.
slosh, slosh.
Okay, stop. There is a... And the tree cracks and twists. And it lunges for you. What's your armor class, please? 15, it hits. Yeah, boy. And it's going to hit you for a mighty 3 points of damage, which is not great. In fact, you see that the armor that you're wearing now, the main thrust of its point, bounces off one of the studs in your studded leather, and you manage to just about spin and get out of the way, receiving a slash along the leather, but you yourself are uninjured. It is now... so
can I do my bonus disengage now?
your bonus disengage...
After realizing that the tree is a baddie.
So you can continue your move.
You also haven't taken action.
You haven't. So you have taken a move. You haven't taken. So disengage would have prevented this attack of opportunity. You could now take a bonus disengage. That's fine if you're going to be running past anything else, but it only gets one attack of opportunity per round.
So it's not going to attack you again. You can just
Or
walk
you
away.
could-
You can walk away.
Hit in the face.
Yeah, cunning action, I dash like a small extra distance.
Okay, fine.
There you go.
Is that all you want to do? You have a full action. You can do something if you would like
Full
to.
action.
You can
So you
attack.
could have
You
hit
can.
it on the way past.
Oh, yeah, can I rescind my
You
dash?
absolutely can attack.
Alright, yeah, I'm gonna smash him with both of my swords.
Then if you do both your swords, you can't take your bonus action for anything else. Bonus action to attack or bonus action cunning action. Your choice.
Oh.
Yeah, so the other attack with
I'll
the sword is a
do-
bonus action. So
I'll
you just
do-
do one attack.
I'll do bonus action attack.
Do it. Yeah, this tree is spindly and kind of willowy. It's like a young willow
Adds to the
tree.
attack as well.
Does it attack to both of my attacks?
Yes, in this instance, the bless has to.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, you don't get you don't get to damage.
What do you do? You hit?
18 for my first one.
It hits. Tip the speeding on things for everybody when you're rolling an attack. Please roll your attack and damage at the same time.
Okay.
And I'll just tell you if you hit, and then we know how to do it.
So hits both times.
Lovely.
Doesn't get sneak attack because somebody else is there.
This thing is immune to sneak attack.
Oh, in
So-
which case I do 5 damage.
Plus your dex
immune.
plus your dex once.
Okay, 7.
7.
7 points of damage.
Immune to sneak attack. These guys saw you coming.
Pardon? No, +3 dex.
Doesn't matter. 7 points of damage. Taken. So then we are on to something's going to do some things. So
Thanks, Josh.
you're very welcome.
And
There
the
is
way he describes things.
Yeah, absolutely. It's,
this giant tree starts moving towards the group. There is a and you can see it is dragging with it this pile of earth and things around it. There are creatures on the earth that are, crawling in and out of the trees, mostly insects. That's what it looks like. There's all this gross. It's exactly what you'd expect in a really nasty, uninhabited swamp, and it makes its way towards you guys. And then there is also, where is it? This thing goes. Oh no, Tyndall's over there. So good.
before that happens, is Tyndall in any way helped by the blessing? By the. It doesn't say against saves, is the other thing.
It is specifically not against
Yeah,
saves.
cool. In that case,
No, you don't. But this thing does attack him at disadvantage, but he's prone, so it is countered.
Yeah.
So these things are moving in concert, and you see the tree started to make its way through. It's really slow because you can see this thing is still rooted, and its roots are sloshing through the water as well, but they are moving through the sludge. And it is going to... what is Tim wearing? What does he have any armor at all? Does he have a shield?
We have had no ability to equip him. So as much as I'd
Whatever
love to
he-
tell you is whatever he had, we have
When he
no
was riding
ability
out.
to. We haven't been able to give him a
Then
shield unless he picked something up from the
He is
lizard folk.
he is in some kind of armor. He would not be wearing exactly nothing.
I was gonna say, unless he picked something up from the lizard folk.
That's fine, but he's not well equipped. So this thing grabs at him and scrabbles at him, and it looks like it's pushing him repeatedly under the water, but you're not sure how bad it is for Tyndall. It's not going terribly for him. However, he's not the only one that's getting attacked. This thing is going to take the attack with advantage at Iris because it can. And it is going to... No, it's not that clever. It's going to attack the Lady Freya who's standing right there. And hitting it. And it's going to hit you. Wow. I'm rolling all my attacks today for another 3 points of damage. So again, you dodge the first one and you dodge the second one, but this thing is gnarled and spindly, and these branches, they're more like whips as they come in towards you, and they're just lashing against the edges of your armor. You haven't taken too much so far, but this is going to become a problem if it keeps going. Yorg.
Does Lord Tyndall still seem to be conscious?
Yes.
Okay.
You hear him say, "You vile I want to."
Fine.
He's just going up and down into the water with this thing.
Then at the moment I have other priorities I need to deal with.
Go for it.
I am going.
What's your
to...
volume?
Yes, thank you.
That's
I am.
Tyndall gonna get munched.
Not if I can help it. I'm gonna. I just need to stop getting to you. I think if it gets to you, me being here doesn't help. So, York will roll a shoulder, set to 1, 2, 3 to get between both of them, and I'm gonna lock the big tree.
Sweet. You lump the big tree. It is not hard to hit.
I was hoping that would be the case. I mean, on an 18.
You really-
19,
you so hit- you
on
so
19
hit.
on the dice. It's fine. Right. So.
Who've got ranges? Where are you?
They're there.
Yes, with fighters, I think now it's the main thing. that
Champions.
fighters get. Champion fighters get.
You can build a character that crits on a 16 and rolls 3 dice to attack.
Jesus.
Yeah,
That was
you
just stupid.
orcs.
12.
Sorry,
12.
12. Yeah, you hit.
No, that was damage.
12 damage. Lovely. You
Which
chunk
is
into
magic.
this thing.
Of course.
It is magic.
It's with thunder, because what else would I be using this? It's a magical fucking axe versus a tree.
That's fine. Okay, so you
Oh yeah, the glitter.
you bring up and you swing into this thing. There is a white arc as you do so behind the axe, and again it fades as it moves, and it thuds solidly into a tree. You feel like you're using a really appropriate weapon for this.
I'll be aiming for roots. Seemed to be the trick last time, so I will be specifically aiming for roots.
Solid. There's a cracking of bark as you thunk into it, and as you pull your axe out, you splinter a whole bunch of dead wood away. You see, this tree is very dead. It's decayed on the inside, and it's weakened, and it's also really wet, damp wood.
Mm-hmm.
And pouring out of it, like sap, is this black ichor that drips once more into the ocean, into the lake that you are standing next to. Would you please take me a very easy reflex save?
Plus D4.
You are very likely to pass.
Not on one of them.
Ooh.
I mean,
Is that a natural one?
so the D20 came down first, and then when the D4 came down, it knocked the dice.
What is it now?
The dice now says 21.
Fine. Right, I'll tell you what, as you pull your axe out of this thing, there is
You're welcome.
there is an Icarus spray,
Yeah.
and you bring your shield up, and it lands into your shield, and you hear a vague hissing as it does. And you look and you see there's a few very minor
Hit marks in it.
pock marks.
Yeah.
That is correct. More of my stuff. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Terrible. Ha! And this thing is going to say, "Hi, you're flanked.
Yeah, I know.
Would you like to be missed?"
Yeah.
I have an armor class of 18. Fine.
Look, it's the only thing I've got at the moment.
Yeah, this thing wraps itself, and again, these are willowy creatures, so they're wispy, and it lunges out with its tendrils, which is what they kind of are, and the branches, some of the leaves fall off, and as it wraps around, it tries to grab you and pull you backwards, and it wraps around, you feel a thing lash around your neck, and it pulls, and it just pulls itself apart. These tendrils are not strong enough to
Somebody can get the one behind me, I'd appreciate
to
it.
affect you. Tyndall says, "I'm on it!" And he is going to rock an athletics check. And he's going to surge to his feet and attempt to stab the thing that is right next to him.
Go, Tyndall, go!
Go, Tyndall, go! On a 16. Tyndall's amazing.
Come on, Tyndall.
And he's going to, would someone roll me a... No, so
Yeah.
Sweet. Tyndall lunges upwards and he shatters this thing
Good Tyndall!
with his sword, and he goes, and it cleaves up through the tree.
Someone
There
just
is a,
graduated to level 1 fighter.
I think there is in and amongst everything else, there's a moment of you're going, fuck yeah, go you.
He goes, I'm coming! And he's going to take the rest of his move. And he's going to go 1, 2, 3. He did. He stood up, half his move.
Go fucking you.
Isn't that half again?
He rocked
He rocked his
cool.
check to do
Cool.
it.
Gotcha.
And then it is Iris, you're up again.
Okay.
I'm going to go another lair action.
Wonderful.
Stop it. Stop being smug about it.
No, I love it.
I am going to do quite a lot of things this turn.
Sorcery, sir.
Well, you are on the floor, currently being overrun by swampy water.
Okay, well, let's sort that out. So I'm going to try and roll myself up with some acrobatics.
Yeah, acrobatics is fine.
And
So
that's wonderful.
okay,
fine.
7. Okay, so it's going to cost you all of your move to get up this turn
Okay.
because you are a half move and
Yeah.
you didn't pass your acrobatics and it's difficult terrain. So
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but whatever.
that is where you are.
Aww.
That's okay, because Tyndall's come closer. That's fine then. Okay.
Excellent. All of them within burning hand raise out. Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
I'll pass you that note later. Carry on.
Okay, so first I'm
Iris
going to
rises from the swamp.
shocking grasp this thing in front of me with my action.
Love it.
Good.
Um,
Lack of reaction.
Yeah, that's
It is
yes.
very wet.
Ooh,
Does that
yeah.
give it advantage? Is that the same as metal being
If
advantage?
it's metal, I get advantage attack. But
It is sopping wet. I'll give you advantage to the attack. I think that is reasonable.
Water conducts electricity. Science.
I'll get rid of the 1.
That does seem like a reasonable choice. You're right.
And so 19.
They really hit.
And then
These things have an armor class of 30.
D8.
Noted. I think I
8 damage.
Right, and missed the
How much?
8.
8. Wow.
No reactions.
You grab it, and yeah, as the electricity coruscates through its body, you see it's conducted especially by the water that's run up through it, and the bark seems to char and fuse a little bit, and there's a dribbling of black ichor that comes down it. It's still up, but it's not enjoying it.
Okay. Then I'm going to spend a sorcery point and a level 1 spell slot
Otherwise known as
to
black.
twin cast Sanctuary
Oh god,
on
disgusting! You're all disgusting. Go.
Neve and Tyndall.
Neve and
Are
Tyndall.
the people who need to be protected, I think.
I would recommend you. Sorry, it is your choice.
I'm
not going
I'm protecting other
to.
people.
I'm not going
Sweet,
to.
what does Sanctuary do?
Sanctuary means that if you would like to make an attack, you must first succeed on a Wisdom saving throw DC 14.
Come on.
Failure to do so, you must choose another legal target or forfeit your attack.
That is grotesque. All right. So
You love it.
DC 14 Wisdom saves.
Yes.
Yeah, these guys have a what's their percent chance of making that? These guys have a 15% chance of making that save. So
Anyway, Sanctuary is up. That is not
Great.
That is not a concentration spell. So those are all of the things I do on my turn.
that's a pretty good set of things to do. So Iris emerges from the swamp, grabs at the thing that was just about to attack her, and pulls some electricity into it. And then she turns and twins. So please, describe your Sanctuary spell as different from your Bless.
Okay, so the Sanctuary spell, instead of like a blue layer, instead this is more around the head. It's almost like a halo,
Love it.
almost.
Love it. So yeah, there's a blue halo currently
See
around
your
Lord
character
Tyndall, and a blue halo around Neve, who is going to be coming up in just a
Do I
second.
get for this?
Things won't attack you very much.
Lord Tyndall's just under the effects of so many fucking buff spells at the moment. Can we just
He's
buff him
not
to
being,
the
he's not being blessed, actually.
Oh
He's
my.
not being blessed. The only
Loves.
person who's double buff. is
Okay,
Neve.
so
no,
we're
he's
going
double
to
buff.
And he
say,
does not bless. Oh, yes, guys, he's double buff.
all right, here we go. So yeah, Lord Tyndall is looking pretty secure right now.
I hope so.
They have to pass several saves. Right.
Pass a save
Can
and
everybody
roll with
please
disadvantage.
take me a strength saving throw?
Yeah.
Unless Neve, you do not have to be on the pot.
With plus D4.
Oh.
That's
Oh.
that one.
Good.
Splosh back into the
14.
water.
Not enough. 15 for DC.
Oh, I do not pass.
Great. Tyndall, with his, he's not blessed, is he?
Yeah, he is.
No, it's
No,
not
he's
blessed.
not blessed.
Not blessed.
Oh, he's
Right.
not.
That's fine. So
Three, sadly.
it goes like this. It goes. Tyndall goes, I'm coming. No. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Flaggards!
He is pulled back to there and is under the water once again. Everybody failed, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this is so good.
I didn't have to roll.
That's fine. York is pulled 1, 2, 3, 4 to there.
I'm fine with that.
That's okay. And it's down. And I'll describe what you see when you're there in a second.
Oh,
because
fuck no. Bagsy, not it. Can I be somewhere? Can I be found anywhere else? Just this dragon looking at me under the water. I'm like, hi.
down.
Come here often? I mean, you look great for your age.
And you are pulled around. God, I love this layer effect. How good is this?
This is
Does that
great.
happen every time?
Well,
The
it
layer
can
has
do
an
3
initiative.
different things on a 20, but I have to choose one of them. This is the one I've chosen twice because it's just really fun to go, no.
Moving the group.
Move the
around
group's
is great.
amazing.
Yeah,
No, fail a DC and you're prone and underwater and move 20 feet. How good is that? Right. So that occurs. Yeah. There's once again these tendrils reach up from under the water, and it feels like they've got algae wrapped around them. They lash around your legs and they pull you down. You're into the water and thrown in different directions. The group is scattered once again. Neve.
More of the same.
It is a bonus action to do this, and then you have your other action as well in combat if you want.
Ah, cool. Yeah, more of the same.
Great, so please make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no, nat 1, but with my D4.
Inspiration.
And that
Oh,
one.
inspiration.
Okay, can I spend my
You absolutely can spend your
Spending my
inspiration.
inspiration.
It's a good choice.
Yes.
That is much better. That is a 17.
17 is enough. On a 17, the 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah, you like it, you acidic bastard.
Expand like this. Thank you. Yes. They expand around you, and the trees do not seem to be enjoying being in this newly cleansed water.
Mm-hmm.
They are flailing and whipping, and they are making a very strange shrieking noise.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the tearing of a tree limb, and it says "Ah!" And yeah, the blackness in them is starting to bubble. They are very much not enjoying it.
Mm.
I'm just going to do these because we've got them. Right, so need you have an action if you would like to use it.
Amazing.
Just while I pop these out.
I am gonna slingshot at the little tree blight that is nearest to me.
Bonk.
Yeah. One hand on the stick.
Sweet, go for it.
That is a
DC 13. You hit.
Oh right, yeah, I definitely hit, and I hit for 3 points of damage.
3 points of
No,
damage.
wait, plus my dex, which is 3. So that is 6 points of damage.
Plus 3 dex.
There's 2. The dex is 2.
Sweet.
Why does it say D4 plus 3 then?
Smack. This
Oh,
thing.
proficiency, because you
level
had your proficiency. You had your
This thing is.
Exploded.
Your stone hits it, and it doesn't seem to do very much, and it pokes out, and it turns and it starts pulling at its chest. And as you see the impact that your stone did, all of the black nastiness drips out of it and pours down it, and it crumbles. It's still there actually. It's just off at a 45-degree angle now,
Yeah.
and down. It's once again a tree. Congratulations,
Nice.
Freya.
Freya is going to flip.
Yeah. Acrobatics.
Yeah.
That's not without the skill. Without
You don't get the
Oh,
D4 on the skill.
no,
That's
only
guidance.
14.
only 14.
Yeah.
On a 14, that is actually not quite enough.
Oh no.
Yeah, 15 DC.
So all that means is that you use the
Can't move.
entirety of your movement to do
So you
this.
stand up.
Okay.
And now you have an action and a bonus action.
You have a bonus action with which you can still move
Yeah.
because you are a rogue and
Are they
it's busted.
completely immune to sneak attack?
Yes.
But they don't seem to have that much in their hit points.
Yes. Well, I'm going to just hit
That
it
one's
with
in a bad way.
both of my swords.
Hit it with both your swords.
Yeah.
Do it. Okay, so first attack.
And D4.
The first attack is
Oh,
a
Yeah, you hit.
Yeah, you hit.
a
Great.
24,
Second attack.
and the second attack
You hit.
is a 16.
So
Yeah,
roll
it's
D6
lovely.
twice.
So you get 2d6 damage.
Plus 5.
3 plus 6 plus
Oh no, you don't get proficiency to damage, do you? It's only plus.
What do you-
plus dex.
How much damage?
plus
12 points of damage. You bring your swords round and chunk. The first one bites into one half. The second one, you kind of hack away at it, and it's more, you're using a scimitar, which is actually not a terrible thing to be using. It's like a machete, and you just chunk bits off this tree.
Oh.
And yeah, it's like wood shavings. Can you please make me a reflex saving throw?
You say
With D4.
Which one is reflex?
with the D4. So add the D4.
Oh, maybe not.
You probably get proficiency as a rogue.
You absolutely do. So you're proficient with it, which means you're at 2, so it's plus 5.
10. 10 is not enough. Would you?
On a 3 on the dice, though, ladies and gentlemen, that's still pretty fucking good.
It's not bad. Would you like to take me 6 points of acid damage? As you hack this thing apart and the acid inside it sprays out at you. It is this black ichor, and it's thick and it's sticky and it starts to eat through your leather. It's not very good. It is very gone. Thank you very much. There is, let's see. Good job, Neve. Good job, Freya. Stuff gets to go.
What stuff to go?
Oh wait, bonus action.
No, you use your bonus
use it
action
to
to decide
attack.
attack. Yeah, like you
Right.
either attack once or
Okay, so the big thing is going to
broken attack.
turn.
Fine, okay.
And
No.
you don't provoke when you're prone.
No, you absolutely do. You can take it. You just at
Yeah.
a disadvantage.
Okay, cool.
It is going to provoke an attack of opportunity. It doesn't want to hit you as much as it wants to stop this nonsense.
I would like
So
to
it's got
encourage it to
wisdom.
fucking hit me. You say at disadvantage, yeah?
Yeah,
Uh,
and it's going to go.
I would.
That's fine.
You next default.
No, I'll just take the 1d4 roll. The one. No, would it be the lowest of the 2d4 rolls as well? Oh, how does that work?
1d4 and 2d20.
So both of them are 11, so that
You hit.
almost definitely
You hit.
hits.
You hit.
Um,
You absolutely chunk into this thing as it goes past you. I was just going to.
I need it to not go away from me. I'm going to smite it to see if I can get its attention.
Okay, I'll go for this. It might not, depending on how much damage you do to it, it might be something different.
We are on 16 damage.
That's quite a lot. That'll make it sit up and talk. So you've done a lot of damage. Alright, so Jorg reaches up with his axe from prone, and you smash into it. There is a in the clearing as the axe smacks into this thing, and you grab it and you see it start to pull away, and you hold onto the axe and you wrench down, and you see it splits down the root as it was pulling away. Can you please take me 3 points of acid damage?
Oh no, my DR!
As it drips down. Yeah, my DR does nothing. As it drips down the axe and onto your arm, and you have successfully, congratulations, stopped this thing from going and attacking me. It turns around.
I may regret this.
And there's a from underneath you as one of the great massive roots that this thing is using as a foot pick itself up. It's got about 3 different feet that it's walking on as clusters of roots. And one of them picks itself up, and as it comes out,
This takes that I regret.
as it comes out, you see it's got masses of earth and dead things knotted around it, and it raises it slowly above you, and it just pushes you down into the ground. Your armor class is 18, so it's actually with advantage.
18.
And it does it with advantage, and it's pretty strong.
I was imagining it probably would be.
It's not doing you damage.
I didn't think it was. I think it's trying to drown me.
Lovely. So you are grappled and being held 10 feet underwater.
Yep. Cool.
Can you please make me a Constitution saving throw? At the start of your turn. Which it is going to be in a second, but I've got one more thing. It's going to be something.
The dragon's.
This thing is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it's going to attack Lord Tyndall.
Just make a wisdom save first.
It's going to really fail a wisdom saving throw, so it's not going to attack Lord Tyndall. And then it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. It's going to run in.
Invoking.
Yes, it will. At disadvantage.
Go, Tyndall, go!
So it's going to run to there, and as it comes in, you can see that the ichor within it really doesn't enjoy the presence of your holy water. Lord Tyndall, his first roll's a 3. He misses this thing, but he does attempt to get up and attack it, and then it is you're up. Would you like to?
You need to tell me what's under the water.
What is his non-elf I see?
Oh yeah. Okay, so you are grabbed and turned around and pushed, and you are kind of on your face now and being pushed into the water. First thing, Constitution saving throw.
Oh no, I'm not adding my 16.
16. Okay, on a 16, you managed to keep. You took a deep breath before you went in.
I saw it coming.
You saw it coming. And you are pushed, and you manage to keep your chest tight so you don't immediately expel a bunch of water as you're pushed under. It is dark and murky down here, but your axe is glowing, and you bring it down in front, and what you see is a colossal shape under the water. There is a large. I mean, this thing is really big. This is the wing. And you see that it expands into this kind of area over here.
Yeah.
It is, I mean, you've heard stories about these things.
Who hasn't heard stories about dragons when they were younger?
And it is a giant black dragon. It has got a horrendous gash. And you can see that about half of its chest appears almost completely missing. It's like someone has taken a hot knife to a plastic model and just gone straight down the middle of it, or a piece of butter. It's like a nasty
It
slice.
looks really dead, is what you're saying.
I'm saying it looks like it's got a great chunk of it missing.
Okay.
and there is black
That's fine.
ichor
Leaking out.
leaking out of this thing. Make me a perception check at disadvantage because you are not super good at this.
Fine. Actually, you know what? York does have proficiency in perception because I'm silly like that. 12.
12. You think you can see something underneath its wing.
Oh, that was not what I was expecting.
Yeah, you think you can see something. Its wing, like I said, it was curled at a weird and unnatural angle, and there's a big lump, and it looks like something is under the lump, though you're not entirely sure what it is. That was your turn. No, sorry, that was what you see. It's now your turn.
I am very, very, very fucking grappled. I need to be out of this water. I am going to attempt to escape this grapple, s'il vous plaît.
Sounds good to me. It's not easy.
I didn't think it was.
It's an opposed athletics check.
I did get it because it's skill. No, it's not because it's not skill check. It's
not
not
safe.
skill checks.
Good luck.
Oh no.
Nope, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's a no.
10.
Right. You struggle and strain, and you have spent one round underwater.
Is that my action to do that?
It is an action to attempt to break the grapple. It is hard to do.
You know what? Fine. I am distracting it. I can look at that.
You are. That is what it has done. It is now some things that get to do some other things. So this thing is going to go. Fine. 1, 2, 3.
From the person with no melee weapon. Yeah, that's
4.
You gonna attack as it goes past?
I see no reason not to.
Yeah, go for it.
Try and grab it and pull off a few twigs with my fist.
concentration checks work because that is a concentration spell on Tyndall.
You have taken no damage.
I have.
From the acid. DC 10 con save, which you got the blast to.
Yes.
He's still got protection. That's
Actually,
fine.
the bless made that.
13. I'm not proficient with my fists, am I?
No, you are not.
So 13.
13
Oh, no, I had
is enough. 13 hits this thing.
strength. Yes.
Yes.
12.
You miss.
Oh,
No, you hit, and then it's just like.
Yeah, you reach out and grab at it as it goes past, and there's the mass of twigs and branches, and you grab it, and they run through your hand and score along your wrist a bit, and it hurts. And it comes to attack you, Neve. This thing hates you. Wisdom saving throw.
This thing
Am I
really.
protected by sanctuary?
Well, was
Yeah,
it? Was
that was the wisdom saving throw that it failed.
1, 2, 3. Okay, so this thing brings up its branches and it wraps them over you, and as it does, the halo that you have glows brightly, and it retreats away from it and goes 4, 5. It provokes an attack if you want to make it. 6.
I won't because it
Because it
ends
will
my
learn
spell.
sanctuary. Yeah.
And it's going to. You're not on the sanctuary,
Got
are you?
more important stuff to do.
Good. What's your armor class?
15.
Go to hell.
Gosh, not having a good day here.
Okay, it misses you. Good. That went well.
And is it taking damage from being in like happy golden shiny water?
It certainly is. Tyndall. Tyndall is going to really not have a very successful. So he's up and he fails his athletics check.
I'm coming, York.
He goes,
I'm coming.
I'm coming. And he goes 1, 2, 3. Because he is taking the dash action.
So he is still in the sanctuary.
Yes, he's done no offensive actions yet.
Increasing his
Tyndall.
his survival possibilities immensely.
And then it is a new initiative round. So, Iris, you're up.
Okay, down. Okay, right, there's no one near me, so I'm going to attempt to stand up and be able to move. Again, I'm getting used to this water stuff.
Yep.
So then, no, I'm not. That's another 7. I stand up.
Swell.
Good.
At least
Looking
you're in the
around,
good area of this.
that one's closest to me, so that is the one that I am going to, throw Tolliver dead at. So think again, my recent experiences fresh in my mind. Allowed sonorous bong.
Sweet.
Apparently
Yeah.
That makes it take a wisdom saving.
Can we
throw.
determine
So Yeah, there is no. There is nothing nearby for you to channel its thing. But that's cool.
Can we? Yeah, I was going to say, can we wait on what the noise is until after you've rolled the damage? Because
What's
after
kind of a saving
you've
throw?
DC 14.
At which?
Wisdom.
At which thing?
This thing.
It really fails.
Okay, has it taken any damage?
That
It
one.
was walked into the acid.
Yes, it has. It's walked into the acid.
Okay, then 1 damage.
You rolled a 1, a 2, a 2, and a 1 with that spell every time. You might have rolled a 3 at one point. But your D12 damage.
one day you'll
That's
spike.
necrotic if it matters.
One day you'll spike it, but that'll only be when on something with
No,
like
it does not.
zero health.
There is a bong that goes throughout the clearing, and you see some of its bark snaps away. Yeah, it didn't.
That's good.
It didn't enjoy it, but
Okay.
it has
That's the
not.
thing that happened.
Right, there we go.
I don't think I need to sanctuary anyone else. I think we're good for sanctuaries.
Great. Then on a 20,
Shut up.
let's go with that one. Seems quite good. There is a breaking from the back of this tree, and comes spewing forth a cloud of insects.
Not these fuckers again.
Yeah, they're pretty good. And so within a 20-foot radius of this tree.
I'd like to call them in if you guys from the fact I'm under the water.
Well, I'm sure you would.
Just like, you're adorable.
Yeah.
Shut up and take it.
Right, so it goes.
Tyndall's just out.
That's, yeah, Tyndall is out of range. 1, 2. 1, 2.
I think Neve's just in.
Yeah. Catch the 3 of us.
There we go. That's why I did it.
So basically, does being under the water offer any kind of?
Yes, it does.
Oh,
Can you please make me a? So, there is a cloud of swarming insect, and it is huge. This thing is a large area around the tree. It is gross, and they are all dripping the horrible liquor. They seem to be able to fly over the golden aura without too much ill effect. Would you please like to all make me a Constitution saving throw? You can make yours with advantage because you are underwater.
reasonable. Am I doing it as well? You're not in the area.
15.
8.
15 is good.
23.
Is good, and 8 is not. So, the insects, I mean, he's aiming for you. You're the one causing all the problems, and this cloud of insects is thickest around you. And you're surrounded by a whole bunch of swarming insects, which is really nice. Anyone who passed their save takes half damage.
Concentration check.
So here's that's 10 points of damage. So if you passed, you take 5. If you did not pass, Neve, can you take 10 points of damage as the insects swarm around you?
Lord Tyndall's protection is still active. I passed my
Thank
comms.
you. You take actually only 2 points of damage because you have your arm.
It's physical
piercing damage.
Physical damage. Okay,
Yeah.
that's brilliant.
I also blesses up still.
Sweet, that's good. So all your spells are still active, but there is a horrible cloud of insects swarming around this area. And if you start your turn in there, you are going to have to take the other save.
Iris, could you do that thing again?
It's not this big. I clear in a small area.
No, but you can take a chunk out.
So that was it. So then, Neve, you're up.
Cool. I am going to shape water to try and put a barrier between me and the bugs.
Oh, what a good choice.
Acid water shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's not.
I understand. It's like a dome of water.
Yeah.
That's constantly going whoosh, whoosh, whoosh,
Yeah.
like a sprinkler system around you.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. I will have to make you make me a concentration check, please. Con save.
Concept. That is 14.
14 total. You have plus 0 to your con. Oh, it's a 1, right? Okay, 14. Okay, so on a 14, that's fine. You are able to maintain this thing going around and your cleansing attempt at the well, but it is going to cause a strain to try and do this both at the same time. I'm just letting you know that's fine.
That's all right.
Yep, so you've got that.
And do you need me to roll again for
Cleansing the well.
cleansing?
It's a wisdom saving throw. Is what I need you to make.
17.
17's enough, man. Stop it. Okay, so
Amy's like, make me. Josh is like,
What did she need to take because she started in bug zone?
I'm willing to allow the water to act as that.
To the bug zone.
The worst zone of Crystal Maze.
I made myself sad because he's a twat.
Okay, yeah, good job. The golden energy surges forward, and you can see now. This is very clear. This is no longer for you difficult terrain if you're walking within the area because you can see where it is deeper and where it is not.
I require clarity on my exact position. Am I in or out?
You are on the borderline. I'll describe what happens in just a second. Yes. Thank you, Neve. Freya, you start outside the bug zone, but you can see there is a swarming cloud of bugs around this area. Freya, what would you like to do?
I am going to hit this one once.
Do it. So it's your action to make an attack.
You should be fine. It's only 13 to hit them.
You hit, you're already hit.
Easy peasy.
So roll d6 and add
You
your
sweep up with the
dexterity.
scimitar.
2, 5 damage.
5 damage. You chunk into this thing, and yeah, your blade takes a bit of prizing to get it out. And as you do, there's that creaking sound of wood, but it's still there, and it turns towards you with its strange black eyes.
Now that I've hit it once, I have fancy footwork, and I'm going to move.
Opportunity of attack free,
into a protective stance around.
which is
Nice.
absurd. Love it. Very nice indeed.
Whenever Freya takes a turn, just imagine the Pirates of the Caribbean theme.
Da-da-dum-dum. Yeah, you adjust your hat, and
Because we say scimitar, what we actually mean is cutlass.
Pirate.
all right. So let's see what it's going to do. It's got you grappled.
But it's also taking damage now.
It is now taking damage from this, which it really doesn't enjoy. So it's going to. Good news. It turns like
I'm
this.
not sure it is, Josh, because I kind of needed it to be focused on me, but still.
It's going to pick you up
Oh crap!
out of the water with one of its limbs,
Am I being used as a missile weapon? This is not going to be great.
and it's going to go through the water like this. It takes. You are picked up, and you take the opportunity to breathe when you can. You go, and you're back in, and you're back in, and then it holds you for a second, and it flings you through the swarm of insects. And at Neve, we'll see how
Do I get an
this
opportunity attack?
goes. Fuck's sake. Hold the phone.
Oh no!
What's the DC?
14.
Damn you. I rolled a 16. I'm like, oh, it might do it, it might do it. It doesn't do it.
Sanctuary is so good.
Okay, so then it's going to throw you at you, Iris. That's what you get. Do you have Sanctuary on you?
No.
Right, okay. Then get hit by a throwing you. Yeah, really do.
Do I get an attack opportunity?
I think yes is fine. You're released from the grapple, and you can absolutely make an attack of opportunity as you go at this thing. But you are 100% going to be.
At disadvantage?
No, I don't even mind you taking it advantage as it picks you up.
Advantage.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
All right.
I
break it.
Yeah, that's fine. A regular attack is fine. As you are dangled momentarily underfoot. This thing is enormous. This giant tree has picked Yorg, who is the biggest among you, up by his foot and is swinging him side to side to gather momentum as Yorg hacks away at it with his mighty axe thunder. 19?
Yeah.
19 hits for sure.
Cool. In that case, we will go with that, which is fuck you, which is 14 points of damage.
Whoa, okay, that's quite a lot. Is that smite?
No, that is. Oh, no, sorry. No, it's +7 to hit, not +7 to damage. That is only
Plus
12.
one weapon. It's to both.
Yes, sorry. But
He's not having his-
Oh yeah, come on, yeah, sorry. How much damage total?
12.
12 takes it to a lot of damage. It's lovely. Yeah, so you swing into it with an axe. It has taken 50 damage so far. I'm just putting that out. Most of that from Yorg. 40 from Yorg.
Hold us that.
However,
Yeah, I'm.
would you like to take through the insect cloud that you are flung?
No, not really.
Con saving through.
Yes.
No, that's alright. Roll again.
That is. What's this? Sorry,
This is really depressing.
11 on the con save.
Okay, 11's not enough. So you actually take full damage, reduced by your armor. Can you take me 3 points of
Is that
damage,
after or
please?
before armor?
In total, 3.
Oh, okay, so I take nothing.
No, in total,
in total,
3.
right,
It counts with your armor. Then you are flung at Neve.
Which is
Not Neve, you're flung at Iris.
concentration safe.
Concentration safe to see if you lose your spell. That's more damage. That's good. Iris, would you please like to take me a
Spell stop.
dexterity saving throw
To dodge a York.
to dodge a Yorg.
13 plus 15.
15 is sufficient. You manage to stay on your feet and take half damage.
What is the DC to dodge a projectile York?
15 or less?
Yeah, 15 is a pretty good DC. So you smash into Iris, who is pushed back a square, and you enter there.
I imagine I'm also prone.
Dex save.
Can I take athletics?
No, you can take a dex save.
That's not, I thought I'd ask, because athletics also covers that stuff, but I thought I'd ask. A 7.
Great, you are definitely prone.
Yeah.
And with a successful reflex save, you only take 4 points of damage. You can take the 8 points of damage, reduced by 3 down to 5.
Concentration saves for both of us.
Yep.
Can you take? Is it multiple times?
Yeah, every time.
Ooh.
Drop sanctuary.
I
Go
think
on.
no, it's the bless. The bless drops.
Okay, bless is gone. It's good. It's good. We're working. Okay, so you feel some protection disappear from you. The blue
So
light
Lord
fades,
Tyndall's.
and you are no longer blessed. Lord
So is
Tyndall.
Lord Tyndall's. So is Lord Tyndall's buff.
That was good. Okay.
And you dropped it.
I couldn't keep it up.
What initiatives?
Apparently, when you throw one spellcaster at another spellcaster,
Cancels that spell.
So when Freya, then that thing, then
the spellcasting polarity.
you are going to get a go in a second, however.
I'd certainly like to. I understand that is how the initiative queue works.
And this thing is going to go there and attack the Lady Neve.
If it
I
passes.
still have sanctuary, right?
You do.
So it's not going to go there.
I am so sorry, Josh. I am so sorry.
Provoke.
This is.
Yeah, it's provoked an attack, Neve.
Feel free to whack it. Oh no,
No.
Yes, yes, yes.
It is going to instead attack Freya. Freya, would you like to get hit? I actually hit you this time. Take it. Would you like to take a point of damage as the whips come around your arms? Come on, guys.
That was
you
my
better than this.
favourite point.
Also, just remember that I have this. I am going to re-roll that Constitution save for Lord Tyndall's thing.
Sounds good to me,
That
yeah.
is important to me.
10 or more is your number.
Holy shit! With the bless, when it was still up, it's enough, and that effect is still up.
Solid.
Because
Okay,
that is
inspiration
important
spent,
enough
give it to me.
Now
This one is going to
Hand
go-
in the yellow dice. Don't have them anymore.
Right, it's going to, I'll take the wisdom save right now.
Yellow dice.
No, if it's going towards her, I'm doing an attack of opportunity.
You know what?
So-
Fine. It's going to go 1, 2, fail a wisdom save,
Then get stabbed in the face.
3, 4, and attack you with advantage if it's alive. Go on, make your attack of opportunity. Go on.
What am I adding to it?
You hit. You
Yeah,
hit.
I hit that.
You hit.
That's
You
cool.
definitely hit.
4. That's 4 points of damage.
Okay, it's still up.
These dice rolls are really bad. I thought
It hits you. It hits you for. Would you like to take 3 points of damage? And you see that one of them has lashed itself around one of your arms, and the other one has lashed itself around another of your arms. Your mobility is starting to get restricted now. That was them. Tyndall, I'm coming. He says, and he's going to go
1, 2, 3.
1, 2. No, it's no longer difficult terrain.
Oh yeah.
3, 4, 5.
Oh no, Tyndall, no!
Oh God.
He doesn't miss. It's quite hard to do.
He no longer is sanctuaried.
Is he no longer sanctuary?
If
It's
he
main
attacks,
attack.
yeah.
He didn't know that.
No, he didn't.
I didn't get a go.
I am sorry to skip you.
No, it's
I'll
fine.
finish this and then you can. Have
No, it's
that.
absolutely fine.
So
This is
stuff,
this.
yeah. He actually does quite a lot of damage. He swings at this thing and there's a and you see it goes through one of the roots of this thing, which needs to take a reflex. It's still there. Well, yeah, he has taken some of the
One hit, one kill.
balance of this. It's going to get back up, but he has temporarily smashed this thing down.
Oh,
He
man.
turns and he says, "Timber!" And you're up.
What was Lord Timber?
What's happening with bugs?
Oh yeah,
He's
Timber
farming
needs to take
bugs.
some damage. That's a good point.
Or does he?
Or does he? He really does. He would like to take himself. Timber! And Lord Tyndall drops.
No!
He charged into the thick cloud of bugs, and they've swarmed him.
1, 2, 3. Get your ass back up. I am gonna
Lay on some hands.
You're gonna lay on some hands.
Alright, you lay on some hands and you bring Tyndall back around.
Was it 6 point maximum?
6.
Do it. Fucking have it.
Sweet.
Uh,
Would you like to take me some damage from the bugs that you have charged into the sword?
Well, that was always going to happen.
You've got quite a lot of damage.
Not really. I'd like to pass the save if I can. I didn't.
Would you like to take me, including your armor, 11 points of damage?
I'd like to go unconscious.
Swamming.
Swamming.
Your spells are down
My spells are back.
because you are unconscious. That went well. Iris, you're up.
Great. Okay, so I'm in bug zone.
You are. Would you like to make me a Constitution saving throw,
I've
please?
got the lay on hands.
You
on
did.
for
That's
single
fine.
dice.
Yes, I'm okay with this.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's 21.
Lovely. So you can take me 4 points of damage as these bugs nip and bite at you.
Okay, right.
Deal with the bugs.
No.
Burn the bugs.
That is a passive effect that is doing 3d6 damage
Just
around.
gonna-
It's pretty good.
Right, if I do that,
means
it's
it's
just going to
Burn
happen
the
again.
bugs.
It's going to happen again literally now.
Burn the bugs.
Bugs do not like fire.
Shouts Neve from
Probably
her little circle
not
of
just
water.
the bugs, yeah.
Burn
That's true, I
the bugs.
Well, the nexus of the bugs is here. Oh, actually, it's been pulled down, so Freya, you are not in the circle of bugs.
I'd also
Yeah.
I'd also point out that everybody who would be in the line of fire for what you're about to do is
Is
underwater.
It would be a sort of a there. So I'd catch that
but
thing.
you're not using
Yeah,
it as an attack
okay.
at this stage. You're using it as a narrative
Well,
effect to attack.
I can also
The
use
centre
it
of the
as
bugs is here.
Burn the bugs.
Right. Yeah, you could charge forwards with a swathe of fire if you needed to.
Okay, let's do that.
Do it.
You also have guidance.
1, 2,
Does that last that long?
No, it's fine.
3.
I just did it
and then
now.
4,
Oh, okay.
5.
Okay,
Burn the
so
bugs.
you see
You not hear
Iris.
my
You
guidance?
see Iris charges her hands like a, and you see the new rune that she got glows, and there's a.
This
both
will actually be
hands.
with second upcast.
Oh, nice! Second level
Yeah.
burning hands. Roll me a whole bunch of damage.
Oh, a shitting fuck.
Can the tree take a dexterity saving throw, please?
It auto fails.
Hooray.
It is prone in the water. This thing fails dex saves.
Oh, really? Just auto fail?
Yep, it's not fast enough to dodge.
That's 11. And that's another 8, so 19.
19 points of damage.
No, 19.
Well, that is
And
quite good.
bugs are on fire.
Yeah, so you do yourself. There is a tiny shrieking sound of all the little bugs that pop. There's
I
a
thought that was Kindle.
no. Yeah, there's a conflagration. There's a
You're my
pop, pop,
kangaroo.
pop, 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 pop.
The
All these
special effects
bugs
team had so much fun with these little
burst.
balloons full of growth.
Can everyone take me a reflex saving throw, please, who is above the water?
Does that include me over here?
No, just people who are in the range of the bugs.
11.
11's okay.
15.
15 is great. You both, you duck away. In fact, your water
Yeah.
keeps you secure on a 15. You manage to just about shield yourself as these bugs explode, and there's like a rainbow of fireworks of black ichor going left, right, and centre. Yeah, swarms take double damage from area spells. So you just charged in and did 40 points of damage to this thing. All the bugs are dead.
Great.
And this tree is
really on fire.
deeply on fire because it also takes double damage from fire. Yeah, this tree is not having,
Levels of on fire, it's right up.
Deeply, deeply on
it's
fire.
not having a great time. In fact, it's just been submerged in water. This is really not going well for it. So, Iris, that was you. Now it's its effect, and I think bringing the bugs back would be so mean, so I'm not going to do it.
Aw.
I am going to, however, say, can everybody who is... everybody make me a strength saving throw.
I assume I do.
You-
Do the third effect, because we haven't seen the third effect.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. No, third effect's really late. At this point, it's really late. Strength saving throw, please.
10.
I assume I also fail.
You do.
Not enough. 9.
15 is the answer you need.
No.
You are on the
Oh,
bridge, and
I'm on
therefore,
the bridge.
therefore immune.
Wait,
So
and
is
so
Freya.
is
Oh, am I
Freya.
on the bridge now?
Yeah.
Yes, you were on the party. You do not have to take it.
Stay on fire.
However,
Although, to be honest, being flung away from the situation I'm in wouldn't be too
Wouldn't be
bad.
terrible.
we're going to go. Okay, so Morg, you are flung
If I kill them both, I
2,
think it will probably
3,
take me out.
4 to there. Iris, you
This
are
whole
flung
area.
1, 2, 3, 4 to there. And Tyndall astoundingly makes his save.
Even though he's unconscious.
He's not unconscious. He was brought back by Jorg, and then Jorg passed out. So he is conscious and makes his saves somehow.
Okay.
Great. Neve, you're up.
Go Tyndall.
I'm up.
Yes.
Amazing.
This thing is
help.
you can feel this is the nexus of where the darkness is coming from, and you're really nearly there.
Yeah.
You could probably move there and do this quicker.
Although
you would take some attacks opportunity.
Although you have got sanctuary.
I do have sanctuary.
Because I am very unconscious.
I'm
Healing,
also having a bad
healing
time.
would not end sanctuary.
Healing doesn't end sanctuary.
So
What would you like to do?
Okay.
There's a lot going on, and you can feel your staff is shaking now with the energy that you're pushing out. You can see the water is now crystal clear and beautiful, and there's a thick ring of black sludge surrounding this line of gold that is pushing out around.
Kind of like when you clean an oven.
Yeah, it's like tide marks. It's like scum on the beach
Yeah.
that's rolled up. You know?
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I'm gonna.
And it's no longer difficult terrain within this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna
Attack
cure
opportunity for your
wounds.
Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. Great. Cool. I'm gonna.
This one's wasted its reaction.
That was adorable. Sorry, that was just the most adorable thing.
I'm going to cure wounds at York.
Roll a
D8.
D8 plus your
Mark.
spellcasting ability modifier.
Mark the spell off. D8 plus 3.
Plus 3. 9, 10, 11. 11, and that is.
And you're
my
back
second
up.
level.
York, you are fully healed and didn't have to take a death save.
And can I
Good.
continue
Not
my
fully healed.
purification?
Yes, you can. Please make me
Only
a
level 2, and my
fine.
HP is not great. Sorry.
Wisdom. 13.
13. 13 is okay. And you see the golden light has expanded to the edge of this area over here and is continuing.
Trees, that's it.
It is continuing over this way, and you are very nearly done with this. You can feel that you've actually started now to abut against the source of the darkness, which is over here somewhere. In fact, you can now see that there is a deep pit of something that is very big and very dark down there. And you can feel it kind of. It's not like it's fighting back. It's not sentient, but it is.
It's just really thick.
It's really thick. There's a dark mass of this stuff.
It's alright,
And
I
you
still
are-
haven't used my fairy dust.
That is true. There is burning away that is happening there, which is really cool.
I think
Freya,
that's
you're
probably
up.
what I'm gonna need.
I'm gonna
doing
hit.
this.
Am I being grappled
Swamp
officially?
block.
Not
Or-
officially, no.
Okay, I'm gonna hit this one.
Do it.
Yep. For 5 damage.
5 damage. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, you hit it for 5.
And I'm going to attempt to.
Yeah, neither of them get attack opportunity, which is absurd.
I'm gonna go here.
Sounds good. Okay, so yeah, you smack one up, and they both turn and go for Neve. So absolutely, they go for
Take
1,
damage. Do they take damage from the water first?
2. That's at the end of their turn.
Okay.
3. You can see.
Sanctuary.
Wisdom saving throw.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Attack!
It didn't be frequent. But you can see that these things are being melted away by the water they are moving through.
Not into that square.
So the first one is to make a wisdom saving throw DC 14, and your armor class is also 14?
13.
13. Right, so they basically hit their disadvantage, is the effect, because they need to get that on both of them. They don't. Great. So both of them roll in, and
My halo glows against them.
They can choose to attack someone else if they fail the wisdom saving throw.
first one does not have the move to get there. The second one will fail, and it's going to hit you, Freya. 6 points of damage. And it lashes around you and it pulls you in closer, and you can see that it opens, its creaking bark pulls open and it screams at you. There's this like horrible black maw, and it goes and as it does, these flecks of black stuff land on your face and it burns and really hurts.
One liner.
Fuck.
Actually, if I remember from the film, the one you're looking for is LOBC.
Oh.
Okay, so yeah, that thing does
Someone
that.
hasn't cleaned their teeth.
York. You are now conscious on 11 hit points.
Much to my surprise,
apparently.
Take your action. Use it.
I am going to roll my athletics check to try and move without penalty.
Okay.
I roll.
You are within the area you do not need to.
Oh, I do not need to. Right.
This is all now not difficult terrain.
I'm going to stab. I am immediately next to a thing,
Yes.
which I am going to
Hit it.
Right, I've only just regained consciousness. Give me a break. Right, so
This thing?
Yeah.
It's a tree, isn't it?
He's got up and gone, and attacks the tree.
Is that not? Is that?
These things are very difficult to distinguish. Yorg picks himself up. You know what? In a frenzy, Yorg, he's up. He pulls himself. He sees this horrible thing. It is full of black ichor, and he starts smashing away at it. Yeah, you're bam, 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 and you shatter branches off this thing. You hack into it repeatedly. Yorg is screaming like a war cry here. And this thing is. You kind of eviscerate it down to a stump. Congratulations, you have hacked a tree apart, and you go. That was your turn.
I definitely knocked something over the table. I apologise. I think I hit it with my.
That's okay. Yes, you did.
Sorry, buddy.
That's all right.
I don't think things damage.
It's all right. Well, that comes in later. So that was you, and then the victory. And the victory is going to say, all I want to do is stop this fucking ritual. It's going to pick itself up. This thing is on its last legs. Its last two.
Did these things take the damage at the end of the turn?
They did, yes. And one of them fizzles into nothing. They are not doing very well.
I think, based on just ambient effects, you've actually done more damage than anybody else in the encounter.
This thing pushes some roots in, and some roots are going to try.
Wisdom save. About 80 damage on that.
This halo glows bright, and the cage of roots erupts around you, and you are surrounded by a cage of roots and bark that this thing is pushed in, and they are trying to come in at you, but even as you do, you can feel the golden water and your halo and the energy of all the blessings that you guys have brought to this place are pushing at it, and it is straining against you. It's creaking, and you can see that the roots are pushing in. It is like a cage of roots around you that would come in and either lacerate you or just crush you to death. And it's trying to tighten around you, and you can see the effort is straining from this thing. Beads of black, dark ichor are forming like sweat along its bark and dropping out of it as it stands in the hissing golden light. And it is Tyndall's go. Go on, take it down.
Go, Tyndall, go!
He really might. It doesn't have very many hit
Stab
points.
it!
Like, if
Stab
there's
it!
anything that's worth a level, Josh, it's taking this.
Tyndall gets up.
Please, come on.
1, 2, 3.
Haha, blackguard!
This is amazing.
Do it, shine on you.
Oh,
Come on,
please,
Tyndall.
Please, Tyndall.
Shine on
he
you,
hits.
crazy diamond.
Yes! That was
Shine
hard
on
for
you,
him.
crazy diamond. Do it.
D6
do it,
damage.
do
Go,
it, do it,
Tyndall,
do it.
go!
Okay. Tyndall disappears from view. He pulls himself out of water and he runs behind the tree. And you hear the... And then there's a sound of something from behind him. And the tree starts flailing around. This is a big tree. It's like an oak tree that started twisting. And as it does, it twists and turns. You can see Tyndall is on its back with his
Yes!
sword in it. And he's wrenching it left to right. And he's going, just die already! And there are the sprays and gouts of ichor he's trying to dodge as he rides this tree's death throes.
Hot fucking
It is, currently he is on top of this tree, this flailing around. It is absolutely in the process of dying. It has a
You
hit
go,
point left.
Tyndall!
Um,
Okay, Tyndall's on top of the
it
tree.
is Iris, you're up.
Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, kill it.
No, I think so everyone's up. Tyndall is riding a tree.
He is.
Better, fuck you.
Okay. This is attacking Neve, so I think that's my priority, keeping Neve safe. So I'm going to come around 1, 2, 3, 4 and shocking grasp it with advantage.
Do it. 100% advantage.
So yeah, that's a hit.
You really hit.
For 6 and no reactions.
Zap. You go to grab this thing, and it's it's absorbed so much of the holy water. It's just so much like mulchy paper now. And you grab it and you send the electricity through it, and it just droops around your hand. And you actually have to scrape it off. It's a nasty mulchy substance now.
Pulp.
It is pulp. This thing is equally vaporized now. They couldn't take very much of that. So then it is the last layer effect, which I don't think it gets. I think the last layer effect is get Neve, you're up.
Do it.
I'm going to take a pinch of fairy dust, and I am going to drop it into the water for a last push to cleanse this well.
Amazing. Neve, you take a pinch of fairy dust and you sprinkle the silver powder into the water. And as it does, the whole surface of the water shimmers like a mirror. And the golden light bathes the entire clearing. You can now see that there is sunlight coming through the dark trees above, and there is uplighting coming from the well. This whole place glows. The golden light expands to the edge of the clearing and beyond. And Neve, you fall to your knees. Your staff supporting you as you feel the surge of energy leaving you into the well and going down the river to cleanse and purify everything that it has touched before. The black ichor that exists in the trees seeps out, drips to the ground, and disappears. The canopy seems to get less dark, more light appears in this place now, and this well has been purged and blessed. Please go to level 3.
Woo!
Everybody, as the golden waters of the well lap around you, go to full hit points. And I need my notes. Oh, I've got a piece of paper.
Why don't we write on
Where's my notes? Got another sitting on.
Um,
Yes,
class level 2.
there is a sense of light and life that infuses you all. And Amy, I need you to make me a decision. You have consecrated this well. You can choose a blessing for this well.
Okay.
And this well will do different things depending on the blessing you can choose.
Oh my gosh.
You can choose the blessing of, and when you bless it, you will align this well to either law, good, chaos, or evil.
Right.
And your blessings,
Choose evil.
your blessings are prosperity, peace, fortune, or power.
Oh, jeez. I
Evil
wonder.
power, evil power, evil power.
wonder which one I'll go for. So I'm guessing peace is good,
Peace is good.
and
Prosperity would also
prosperity
make
is
sense.
Prosperity
law.
is law. Fortune is chaos. And power is evil.
Then I'm going to align
Book about power.
this
Wait, hang on.
to.
I feel my alignment changing.
I'm going to align this to peace.
You align the well to peace, and you, would you like to, I know you haven't got anything prepared, would you like to say anything, just a quick like one line, something about consecrating the well for peace?
I say something, it's marvellous and moving. The scripts were written by like wonderful people. Oh, like that, tears.
All right.
Tears stand in the audience.
Neve gives an Oscar-winning speech
Yeah.
about how she's blessing this well for peace.
It's
And-
mostly, actually, I gotta say, it's mostly the backing track that does it.
And you say, let this well once more be a place of peace.
Okay.
The tree stops moving and roots itself firmly in the well, and you can see that its roots stretch
Still in
deep.
the
Still
top.
attacking it.
Tyndall
He's still in the
climbs
top of the
down
tree.
from the top of the tree, and you can feel yourselves all being bathed in a golden light that's coming from this strange shiny well surface. Congratulations, you are all at max hit points,
Oh,
and you all feel particularly tranquil. A moment of serenity settles on all of you. Hold on.
Oh, no. Okay.
There is a slight movement in the water.
York has,
And the large shape that you can now, in fact, you can see through the clear water, there is a enormous, an enormous shape under here, and it is the shape of a dragon. Now the water is completely clear. It is a black dragon that is under the water. As the water touches its side, you see it start to form over and heal. And there is the shifting water, and a giant head emerges, followed rapidly by 2 shoulders and 2 large wings. As in front of you, a adult black dragon appears. And that is where we are going to leave the session today, guys.
Oh, young dragon, you can thank us with some gold.
Guys, thank you so much. That was really kick-ass.
Oh boy.
Sanctuary seems pretty good.
Sanctuary seems absurd. What a great spell. But for this, I mean, it's so specifically useful for this because you're not doing loads of attacking. If you're busy doing a thing, Sanctuary is wonderful.
Thank you. That was amazing.
Thank you, guys. That was really cool. What a fun fight. And I didn't drop any. Well, I dropped a couple of good ones.
You definitely dropped like both me and Tyndall.
Yeah.
I was down to like
Both
8.
the fighters.
Freya was 2, It was only Neve going there. What is damage?
Chat had a wonderful thing. They were like, "Oh, York's drowning again." It's like the climbing up the wall scenes in the old 1960s Batman. They just keep using the same footage.
Alright. So, chat, thank you very much for sticking with us. I'm going to... I'll keep rolling and we'll do the edits later. That's the thing. But yeah, post-game analysis. Chat, if you have any questions, I'm very happy to answer them. Well, hang on, let's do this right. I'm going to do a sign-off for the video and then we'll stick around and do chat afterwards. Guys, that is the end of Chapter 9 of Inheritance. These guys have cleansed the well and, in theory, dealt with the problem that they set off to go and deal with. They have discovered other problems along the way, and now it's much more up to them what they do and where they go. We're going to hang around and have a bit of a chat. You are welcome to hang around in chat and listen to these guys' plans, what they hope to do, what they think is their important, logical next step. Maybe not dying to a dragon will be part of it. We will be back. We will be back next Thursday at 8, and indeed every Thursday at 8 for the foreseeable future. Thank you very much for sticking with us. You can find us on Twitch every Thursday. You can find all of our old episodes up on YouTube at CellPenGM. I'm on Twitter under the same handle. And from all of us... And the Facebook group.
Join the Facebook group.
Join the Facebook group to find out news, updates.
What's the name of the Facebook group?
The War of Inheritance Chat Group.
Is the name of the Facebook group. Thank you very much, everybody. We've enjoyed this. Hopefully you have too. And keep rolling them dice.
Mwah.
Right, so... that was great. Thank you, guys.
I am going to disappear very quickly.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Invisibility?
Yes.
Yes. So, logical next steps.
Mm.
Demand fealty from this dragon.
So this is important for me because I now only have like 2 days to prep the next session because you guys. So I need to know what you're gonna do. Yeah,
okay. Iris is in an interesting position because she would quite like to quietly disappear and not. We've done the thing. The thing is done. So her kind of natural instinct is going to be, now I will go back to my town and never show any sorcerer's power and therefore not be hunted by people who steal my tattoos.
This is possible. Like
that's. I mean, I'm have a nice relaxing Farmville episode where everyone goes back home and
then you get married.
Oh no.
So it's just that would be her natural inclination of, we've done the thing. Good, I can go home now, and kind of. That's what the character will be doing.
Sure.
So, clearly some sort of intervention from Neve or Freya or a dragon
would be useful.
So some motivation.
The wrong sort of sorcerer.
Or or something that ties into something I've read in the book. So some kind of character motivation to not go home.
Chat has asked, what level 3 things are people going with? You get to choose archetypes now, right? ? And I will say, Luke, people have, in my campaign, you have to earn your levels, which means that your abilities that you get, you have to earn them in character. There has to be you can now do these things and this is why. So, Jacob has some really interesting things. Jacob playing Iris has some really interesting things where he is gaining sorceress abilities through interacting with these standing stones
And or other sorcerers.
and/or other sorcerers. He defeated a sorcerer and reached another standing stone, and that gained his level 3 ability, which he took 2 different sorceress.
I did. So at level 3 as a sorcerer, you get 2 meta magics. The first meta magic actually manifested at level 2. When I got my level 2, because I was having saved York's life from a distance, so I have the distance spell meta magic. And the second meta magic manifested at level 3, which was twin spell, which you saw used to great effect to try and protect 2 people with sanctuary.
Sweet.
It works really nicely with some of the priest spells that I have access to as a divine
Which is
sorcerer.
really useful. So that's the level 3 we got there. Freya had a really kick-ass.
I earned my swashbuckler specialization by stealing a boat.
Seems pretty fitting. First a boat, then a pirate hat, then a pair of sabres, and then went, hey, dwarves, I'll trade you this boat for some weapons. And the dwarves had a look on the boat and went, this is a boat full of weapons. Which one Freya went, is it too late to change my mind?
Deal of the century.
So hang on, you'll give us
This
the
boat.
rest of the things on this boat and the boat if we let you keep these weapons you brought here.
I made valuable allies.
Deal, said the dwarves.
And more importantly, prevented the orcs from getting the weapons. Because you didn't actually need a boat.
Do a beach episode. So I don't know exactly. In D&D, you pick an archetype at level 1, 2, or 3, depending on what you are. If you're a cleric, you pick it at level 1, or a sorcerer, you pick it at level 1.
Yep.
If you are a wizard, you pick it at level 2. If you're a paladin, you pick it at level 3.
And druids pick at level...
Druids pick at level 2.
So
So the only person who has yet to pick an archetype is our paladin, who is the only member of the party
He's
currently.
totally going vengeance, I can see it coming.
He's the only member of the party currently at level 2.
I'm definitely not going peace, like people know. Well, actually, no, anybody who's vaguely paying attention knows I'm not going peace. At the moment, it's devotion. It's vanilla, but it goes very much with Yorg. And
Neve is getting cool druid shit now. So I'm responding to chat.
and ties in quite nicely with some characters I've played in the past, if only because I know the Paladinic Oath off by heart.
Which is pretty cool.
So, yeah.
Neve's cool druid shit that she gets for being level 3. She gets, firstly, the most important thing any spellcaster gets at an odd numbered level is the ability to cast the next tier of spells.
Oh,
So she can cast second level spells,
Not
and
all.
druids have like a million second level spells, and they're all awesome. They're so good. They're so good. And yeah, there's some really dirty things that druids get to do. And Iris is a divine soul, that is exactly correct. Druids also at level 3, their wild shape doesn't improve. At level 4 it doesn't, level 8 it does, and level 10 it does.
No, but the CR of the creature they can turn into increases
At level 4 and level 8 and level 10.
Yeah.
That's right. So yeah, the next something I'm also going to do, what I'm going to consider doing and speak to the group about, I think when David hits level 3, I think everybody goes to level 4. Because I think level 4 is not a level you need to wait to have achieved something to do. It's just gain it's gain some number bonuses to a
I
character. You
get to
don't
go
get
to
any
level
more.
3 and everybody else goes to level 4.
No, and you're forever alone. Well, I'll talk to people, and if people are taking feats, if people are interested in taking feats, then we'll have to do that separately, and we'll do level up separately as per. But if people are not doing feats, I think when the last person hits level 3, everybody's you'll go to level 4 instead of level 3, which would be
So
a big
basically,
jump.
we're going to have a massive skip of power level. That's going to be really interesting.
It doesn't go up hugely in power level.
This is my point.
Oh, I beg to differ. Like another two dice worth of hit points.
It's
that. Do you know what? That's true.
It's pretty big.
Like a lot of my paladin stuff is based on my level and stuff like that as well. So like suddenly I'm going to
you
be
get more
doing
spells,
20. I've got 20 points of lay on hands. I've got more spells, everything. It's if that's what's going to happen, it's going to be big.
I understand that, and I think it should be. Because
yeah.
you've been at level 2 for a while, so it should feel like you're going, oh, look at all this cool stuff.
At the same time, I went to
You
level
level
2.
2, yep.
And
That's
it
it.
depends on, how do you get to level 3? Is
There
there going to be...
That is almost
You take a paladin.
definitely
Anyway,
the,
Sure.
Chat, I'm going to turn us off now, but thank you very much. This has been awesome.
Thank you.
And yeah,
Chat, you've been great.
take care. Keep rolling the
Bye.
dice. All right, let's.